I want a sandwich. Now. Oh, sandwich wench. Yo, wench. Sandwich. Now. I'm going to need a sandwich. A sandwich. I'm going to need a sandwich. Sandwich. I'm going to need a sandwich. A sandwich. A sandwich. A sandwich. I'm going to need a sandwich. Sandwich. I'm going to need a sandwich. A sandwich. A sandwich. Oh, sandwich wench. I want a sandwich. Sandwich.
Hello everyone, I think we're live. Welcome to another edition of Not Worth a Cork Remote. I feel like that needs to be like a separate thing, I don't know. Joining me to talk about a very themed stream that took a while to work out is David. So hello David.
Hello David.
Marvellous. How is David?
Yeah, David is good. David is staked.
Yeah, I was about to say you were staked, yes. I had I went recently got introduced in the bakery I clean to these pastries that have meatballs in. It's like a bake, but with the marinara and some meatballs in it. And I will admit they might well be my favourite pastry I've ever had in my life. I had 2 of those for breakfast this morning. Really light but delicious, and I like meatballs. Insert obligatory balls jokes if you like, but I want to be monetised, so let's refrain from it. Hello, chat. Hello.
We'll leave Yempi to that in the chat. I'm sure she'll be lurking there somewhere. Good evening, all.
Yes, hello, Bubbly. Hello, Rivenfay, Bryce on Broccoli. Hope you're well. Hello to everyone. I know Leona will be joining at some point in the chat later. She is unfortunately called away to family obligations. My family obligations of the day have been concluded, i.e. looking after Plumpy all day. Although if you hear any howling, yes, it's her. She is quite vocal. Today's theme is 12-year-old whiskies. There's kind of a reason, but it's actually falling in line with the fact we've covered our youngest age statement whiskies 2 years ago, and last year we covered 10-year-old age statement whiskies. We might do an obscure age statement one next. You never know. In the future, it's not cert yet, but we'll work on it. Get you someone who talks about you the way Meg talks about the meatball pastry. Honestly, you should. You should. Honestly, if you can't find someone that talks to their partner like I talk about meatball pastries, then they're clearly found wanting and useless to you. Surplus to requirement. How about that? Anyway, so yeah, we're going to be doing 12
we know where Meg's priorities lie.
Yes, indeed. I being quite the plump fellow. We're going to be doing 12-year-old whiskies as a step up from the 10s, mostly because, based on our collections being slightly different, it's hard to pin down what we can get away with, without it being exclusively one or the other, or, for example, when David comes down here, well, when he did, when he comes down here, he brings things to create the theme that we've worked on, or agreed upon. Take, for example, last year's port cask whiskey stream. And I think it was all P-related alliteration. I can't remember. And oh, yawn. I'm sorry. It was all. My apologies for the yawn. Yes, lack of oxygen in the lungs does that. It was all based on our respective collections. So we each brought something to the table, and that was the first time we introduced my father to the live streams, which was very interesting. But yes. We're going to be doing 12 as a step up, and all, based on the image you will see on the screen here, are from differing regions. Although this picture is slightly inaccurate, thanks to David. No, well, it's not his fault, but just, so the first whiskey we're going to cover will not be the Bunnahabhain 12, which is what it was going to be. I'll switch over here so you can see the full array. We have Old Pulteney 12, which is a Bayside. Yeah, I think. Yes, it is. It's a
Yeah.
Speyside. We have Highland Park, which is not a highland, it's an island. Mortlach, which is a Speyside.
Yeah.
So 2 Speysides and an island. Okay. Bunnahabhain's been replaced by Glenfarclas Class 12, not the standard though, and the Nika 12 is Japanese. Hello, Hannibal.
Right, yeah.
Hello,
A swerve in there of a non-Scottish one.
I think I thought we're overstaying our welcome with Mortlach and Pulteney though, but we couldn't find between us, unless we both went Jura 12 or something. I don't think either of us. I don't think I have that actually. Does it even exist anymore? Does it exist? I don't know.
I don't know if it exists. Yes, no, it does exist now. I don't think it used to exist. I think it was.
I don't think either of us have it.
Yeah.
But the original order was this. It would have been better if David didn't have the Mortlach, but it had the Bunnahabhain, because then the Farclas would have fit there nicely. It would have been 5 different regions. But it's fine, because with 2 Speysides you get to taste, or we get to talk about contrasting flavours from the same territory. Not the same region within Speyside as a whole, though. If that makes sense. Yes. Hello,
Yeah.
Laura. Hope you're well. Where are we starting today, David?
So, according to the order determined by Meg,
Thank you.
who has mostly gone OCD, which is good, we are starting with the Glenfarclas,
Hang on.
which
I've got
a,
OCD.
a swerve. We're starting with the swerve because this is not just any Glenfarclas. This
Right,
is the Whisky
yeah.
Shop exclusive Glenfarclas,
Okay. So
which is 57%
57.1. We'll get to that in a second. I'm the OC. Who posted all the links to the tasting notes? Was that you? Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the Glenfarclas 12. Now, I have a bottle that has very little in it. Not because I consumed most of it, but because, and if you were on the Not Worth the Cork YouTube channel or on Discord, yes, Not Worth the Cork has a YouTube channel now. Amazing, I know. We, in January, went a bit mental, as I said I would. I promised I would. And I got given the remnants of this bottle, which has, well, it's near the bottom part of the whiskey. It's at the bottle is full to the top part of where it says the whiskey. Okay, the Whisky Shop at the bottom. There isn't much at all, but I did also put more into it from a sample they'd given me from a 10cl half full. I think you gave you some, didn't I?
Yeah, you gave me a dram and poured. So you gave me a dram and poured the rest of the 10cl in the bottle.
Yeah. So they'd given us a fair amount. I have to yawn again. This is stupid. Sorry.
That is a spicy meatball, right? Yeah. Oh, sorry, no. That's a spicy meatball.
Meatball. Yeah. So.
Hello, Leona.
Hi, Leona.
Just her to join, just as we talk about a ball.
Indeed. This is a Highland single malt Scotch whisky. It is aged for 12 years. It is listed on the bottle under the 12 as 100 proof. That is, I want to say axiomatically, it is factually inaccurate. It is 57.1.
People.
57.1, which is 114.2 proof. Where's the 14.2 on this? Only 300 bottles of this were made, it says on the back, and bottled at 100 proof. That is bollocks. The 12 expression has been bottled for the Whisky Shop as part of their trilogy series. That was the 8, 10 and 12. I will admit, I did want them, but I wanted them to drink them. This limited edition is both complex and delightful in equal measure, with deep sherry notes combining perfectly with exotic spices. So as you can tell, highly detailed tasting notes. I don't have a glass. Oh, get off over here.
I feel like that might be a small problem in the whiskey tasting journey this is the evening.
Well, I may have forgotten the nosing glass. I've just got one of my whiskey piston ones, the big clonking glasses. It's fine. Where's my jigger? There it is. Yep, that's the sound you want to hear. Yeah, so we're going to start with this. We don't have the greatest of tasting note, because the Whisky Shop doesn't really do in-depth tasting notes, but we do have some tasting notes from them. The bottle currently sells on their website on sale for £106 as opposed to £118. So it's not a cheap bottle, and you have 300 bottles of these made, so one cask, not even a big cask to be honest. You're you're definitely, if you're a collector, you want to put that to one side because it will go up in value to an extent. Just chug it out of the bottle. If only I was a Philistine, I could do that. Or desperately in need of a palate cleanse from that crappy buzzball from last night. By the way, guys, the current Super Chat goal is 5. If we hit the goal, I'll buy David some. Yeah.
Wait, what now?
Yeah.
Is this a goal I want you to achieve?
And I just discovered today the corner shop around the corner from me has them. So if you want me to buy them directly and just take them up to Norwich Coffee, you're welcome.
Is this a goal I actually want you to achieve?
Nope. Just thought I'd share it though. I tried one last night. I necked the whole thing, and because my Norwich trip goal got shattered. It got shattered, so I necked it as I promised I would. It took 4 glugs. Not worth called Buzzball Edition. Probably not a live stream, but maybe a Discord VC. You never know. They have many flavors. And I ordered a 3-pack last night of one flavor because like mango chili or something. Because I couldn't get one off Amazon. So yeah, we'll discuss that later. Anyway, I'll do the.
I look forward to it.
Oh, the cork is very tight. Hang on. Oh.
That's how much. What are we doing? Are we getting drunk?
What?
No, hopefully. There's only 5 whiskies. We should be alright.
Hang on. Only 5, and the first one's 57.1.
Yeah, true.
We're starting. This is, by the way, to give some context, I have a bottle. It's a birthday whiskey, the Glenfarclas 105. That's 60% as a standard, and it's a very nice whiskey, by the way. I also have the Farclas 15, which I haven't opened. I originally only bought it because it came with samples, because I am that person. Banger Bry. There we go. Thank you so much.
I hate you all.
Thank you so much for the super chats, guys.
I don't know.
You definitely hate them. You're welcome. I'm all about that audience participation. Thank you so much, Laura and Bry, of course, enabling my bad habits, and of course, aiding David in trying crap drinks. Basic white gold bish drinks that he'll love with chimkin. Okay, so I'm going to pull up the tasting. Oh, hello, Bry Muss.
Bry's at it again.
Yeah, I accept your donation. That is 3 of 5. I would have said if you wanted to save money, you could have done it through coffee. I would have gone around the shop tomorrow and got them and put them in a rucksack for when I got up to Norwich next. But the coffee works. Okay, so I'll put up tasting notes. Here we go. This is the Whisky Shop website. I wanted to show you something else while I had the chance. This is the standard Glenfarclas 12. You also mean Bry Suffer.
Oh my lord.
Thank you, Bry. I really appreciate that.
That is Bry's 20th super chat as well, apparently. So we should congratulate him by
hang on.
hazing.
We'll do it like this. Thank you, Bry. You're a loser, you sucker. You gave me your money. No refunds. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know if David heard the sound I made, the kalimba.
I heard it started sounding like a glockenspiel, but I only heard 2 things. Then
it was the kalimba I have under my desk. I've decided I'm going to start using it more often because I think it's funny. Oh, there we go. Goal hit. Bry is helping here. Very well. I will. Well, when YouTube
server bans Bry.
When YouTube pay next, I'll have to acquire one for you. It won't be in March though, because I earn nothing. I can just about pay my bills. But here we are, the Glenfarclas 12. This is the standard 12. Standard 12 sells for £48. This is a bourbon and American oak cask. It's also 43%, which is 86 proof. It's nowhere near as strong as this. This is a standard Farclas. Their standards are 10, 12, and 15. Oh, and Bryce sent another one, I think. Yes.
Yeah, I could use my mod powers to time him out on here, but I don't know how it works. So I don't know. I might ruin the stream for him.
Oh, don't do that. I'm just grateful that people want him to receive buzzballs. David, that is, receive buzzballs. Thank you, Bry, and to Laura for the donations. That was very kind of you.
Yes.
We're all about making David endure crap drinks. I wanted to show you this though, because again, this is how contrasting this is. It was supposed to read Buzzball. Oh, was it? Well, that's okay. We've seen it. Buzzball. This one though, the Whisky Shop exclusive, is exclusively in sherry casks. It does not say which casks. It doesn't. So I'm going to assume that it's going to be Oloroso, because that's just common. It's the obvious one. It's not if it's Pedro Jimenez, it's going to be a lot nuttier. It won't be Palo Cortado because they're not as common. It won't be Moscatel, which is wine anyway. It won't be Fino. It won't be any of that nonsense. There you go, buzzballs on broccoli. See, they all want you to have a buzzball, David. See?
Zon Broccoli breaking their super chat virginity there.
Indeed, I'm more than happy to pop that cherry for you. Don't you worry, I got you.
The owner, you know how this stuff works. Time bra out.
Mean. David's now going to receive a buzzball. I'm not even joking. It even says in the super chat goal, "I'll buy David buzzballs." It'd be like the shower gel. I'll just send him every single one of them.
I'm still trying to work through that bloody shower gel.
Is that after you gave me half a dozen of them, or 3 of them, whatever it was you gave me? I used all those.
May or may
well.
not have been earmarked to be transported to a certain German.
I'm okay with this. Just in the German accent, her vagina is ablaze. Just saying. Anyway, so this is the 2024 exclusive, and I will, just for those who are interested, I'll show you Gunfire class. No results apparently, but okay. We have the 8 here. Oh, they have a tri-pack, which is cool. Where are the exclusives? The 10 and the 12. So I wanted to show you these because they have other ones. They've done previous versions before, look. Different years. Is mine a year exclusive? Which one? I don't have the box, so I can't. Oh, hang on, it's 57.1. It is the other one. So this is, get off my screen. The 8 is also 57.1. Has very similar information. It doesn't really provide anything extra, right, to work with. The 10 is the same percentage, 300 bottles, sherry casks, sweet, rich flavours, nothing more. I could not get tasting notes for this at all, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, that makes it more fun, right? I do like this tasting box, but it's 130 quid for that.
Standard one say which cherries, which cask it uses.
That's a good question. I should have a look. Standard.
If Glenfarclas class as a whole tend to use a standard type of sherry cask, the chances are it's going to be probably the same, isn't it?
You would assume. So on the standard 12 it says soft heather, honey, vanilla, oak, earthy, smoky notes on the palate, long spicy finish with hints of cinnamon. But that's the standard. This is a lot stronger. I don't know if we're going to get that flavour or not. And by the way, did you remember to get water this time, David?
I have water, yes. My English whiskey jug is... So, according to the Glenfarclas website, they generally use one particular family's casks from Spain, which are Oloroso.
Yeah. So, in the chat, Zon Broccoli mentioned one was listed for 4K. That's not surprising. Like this one here is 1973. I honestly get it. I would love to get my hands on.
That's not bad.
Yeah. I would love to get my hands on the Farclas 30. David's tried the 40. I wanted last year. The year before, I went to buy this 15 with the 25 CL and the 105. I wanted the 105 to put into my bottle, and the 25 just have fun with. But where I bought it from, they then went out of stock, so I only got the 15, and that was it. And I'm like, that's not what I ordered. But all right, I haven't used them in a while. But yes, understandably, some of these are a bit more expensive. Take this one, the Glenfarclas 60 here. 14,750, but look how cool that looks. Honestly, I would lick that. Just saying.
You would.
I would. But yes, anyway, so have you poured a glass?
I have the glass poured, yeah.
Have you let the tannins do their thing?
I didn't know it was a wine cask. I didn't know we had to, but...
Hey, sherry casks, you know, some people like to do that, don't they?
Frickin' tannins.
So on the nose, it's, to me, because of the strength of it, it's very hard for me to break through that and tell anyone what is on the nose. It's a bit of a it's a bit on the strong side.
I've done the blow the spirit away thing, and there's more spirit underneath.
So I'm gonna blaspheme slightly, and there we go. A couple drops of water, and you get a fruitier nose. It's nice and sort of appley, I think. Yeah. I say this because I bought apples earlier today. I remember the smell. I had to buy them for my niece. I was asked to buy red ones, so I bought 3 different packs of red apples. I didn't know which ones they wanted.
So there's quite a few different red apples, aren't there? So
I know.
A nice and specific request.
I was like, can you just have Brayburn and be over with it? Like, fam, you want some Cox apples?
Brayburn, Gala, Pink Lady.
I bought Pink Lady and I bought Gala and something else. I'm more of I prefer Cox apples. And I know there's a joke there, but refrain. Only whiskey I've ever tried was one from.
It's fine because I like Pink Lady, so you know we're.
Hannibal, I actually own 2 bottles of Bushmills Prohibition Recipe Peaky Blinders whiskey. Because David got it for me from America because I explicitly asked. I paid him for it. He went there with his parents' duty-free allowance as well, and he came back with a certain amount. And yes.
Yes. Meg literally sent me intercontinental.
Yeah.
Buy whiskey.
This is the quality of service. It's fine. I've niced him enough times over the years. It's fine. Yes, it's definitely got a bit more of a fruity, warm flavour note on the nose, and I think apples is definitely quite pronounced for me. But this is a fascinating thing. So I on the Not Worth the Cork Instagram today, I shared a story. I put on our story a video from Master of Malt where a guy was doing a mystery whiskey challenge, 3 whiskies through straws, and he went through each one and indicated how they were different, only to realise all straws linked up to the exact same whiskey. And that's a point, isn't it? Because everyone gets very different notes on the palate and the nose. I think it's great. That makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like that's something you're going to do to me at some point, isn't it?
No, I'll just slap you on the face. I'll just make you think you have had 3 whiskies by hitting you hard enough, and then you'll wonder where your whiskey's gone.
That's blind taste test, isn't it? Shot 1, shot 2, shot 3.
Well, I've done
3
that.
bottles lined up. Which one's which? Not going to be the same, and probably none of the bottles you line up.
I do have one planned at the end of the year if we're able to do it together at some point. A blind taste test thing, but it'll be a blind taste test for 3 people to try together, because even I've not tried what I have coming. So anyway, on the palate, have you tried this yet?
No, I've been still attempting to get anything on the nose, and I'm still struggling. I've not put water in, but I'm trying to persevere and see if I pick anything up. But I'm really struggling past just the strength.
There's definitely a very sherry quality. Oloroso is quite a sweet sherry for those who. We mentioned Pedro Jimenez on purpose. Yeah. That's quite a nutty sherry from what I've been able to tell. And I was tempted to buy a bottle of Pedro Jimenez just so I could taste it, you know.
I mean, there is a sweetness to it, but I can't really pronounce what it is, like whether it's dates or, you know, some sort of sweet type thing.
I got apples, but there's definitely like a smoothness, I'd say vanilla to it as well. Anyway, I'm going to try this. So, clink.
Let us clink.
Apparently it's not slanty, apparently it's slauncher, according to the Irish. I watch a YouTube channel with Irish drinkers called Try Channel. I remember I seen that video.
Yes.
Yeah, slauncher is what they say.
Yeah, but is that because they're too drunk to say it properly?
I'm just going to allow the Irish to be Irish for a change. Ooh, that is a strong one. Ooh, that's definitely got a bit of a smoke to it.
So I'm wearing shoes and I'm touching my nose. Shotgun, you're doing 12 seconds.
Ha! Well, the rules are rules. Shit.
Out there now.
That's fine. I'll do the 12. I don't mind. That's a good move there, Mr. Hall. I'll get you back for that. Don't you worry. I'll get you back for that.
I would say, well, it's very warming. Mm-hmm. I actually don't think it was as powerful as I was expecting it to be for the percentage.
I think you again have that weirdly enamoured aspect. I think I can acknowledge it as strong because you can tell it is.
Yeah, it's strong, but I think
want them to know that, you know.
Some of the stronger whiskies we've had.
Oh yeah,
I was thinking of the 105 as well.
105 is.
I was expecting a little bit more of a punch.
They're not the same. I still maintain the strongest whiskey I've ever drunk that actually felt stupid strong was that Talisker.
Yeah, just for reference, the YouTube on my end, you've got a loading circle on the video.
Have I?
I don't know if that's me or you.
Are we? I haven't dropped any frames.
I will refresh my site then.
It's there. You're fine. If we're still here, guys, let us know. We'd appreciate that. And if you do enjoy the stream, don't forget to smash the like, you fascists. Anyway, down here we have a bit of product information. There's probably a review. No, there isn't. Okay, so this is one of those random ones where I did want to buy it, but I didn't. Because, again, I was given the bottle as a treat. And for those who haven't heard the January Not Worth the Cork Madness event, as it were, for us, 24 hours of, I'd say, up and downs. It wasn't all great, but the whiskey part was fantastic. It took the edge off the rest of it.
True.
We basically we both went into the whiskey shop. We both bought swag. I had saved up for an entire year, and I told David this would be the last time I ever do something like that. You're still here, fantastic. You can't threaten me like that to leave a like. Leona, deal with him. Them, her, it, they. I don't know. I'm gonna guess.
I think it was my side because the tab was being really awkward to refresh as well.
Fair enough. So we went in and I'd saved up all year, which made me feel a bit guilty about the recent fundraiser, because if I'd not spent the money I spent, I could have just paid for it. But I didn't know. I never could have known, or would have known. So I went in and bought quite a few bottles of expensive stuff, and David bought a few bottles and then got extra because I had money left over. And next day we went back and tried 15 samples, and bought more bottles while we were there, which was great. Yeah. And tried all the samples in the shop, and a sample or two that were brought to us by the guy we met the night before at the whiskey tasting event. It was a great evening and day then.
Yes.
2 hours of our life that, well, we won't get them back. I have no regrets. Seriously.
Yeah, no, that was very good fun. That was
it would have been
definitely
more fun.
A madness. Do check out the various streams about that.
Yes, it would have been more fun if David didn't have to drive.
Yes.
But he had to drive, so he didn't get to enjoy all the ones I had. Because, god damn, the weakest one, and it pisses me off a little bit, the weakest one was mine. It was a Macallan. I think the Irishman was stronger. The Macallan, the Night on Earth Jerez. Like, bitch, don't do me like this. Anyway, no, this is live. I'll do 12 seconds, so if you can line up 12 on your watch.
I have already preset my phone with a 12-second timer.
Well, get to 15.
In anticipation of the fact what we'll be doing
do 15, and then you tell me when to go, and I'll put it. And then I can go from there, can't I?
Okay, so I'll say go on 13, because then you've got time to...
Do tell me when then.
Right, okay, so I'm going to start the timer now.
Mm-hmm.
So, sip.
Mm-hmm.
The 12 seconds is underway.
Mm-hmm.
So, while Meg suffers through this, just like to thank you all again for being here. I see there's quite a few of you with 12 likes already, so appropriate for the age statement on the stream. And stop, that is 12 seconds. Thank you for the likes, those of you so far. There are, I believe, more watching though, so if you are watching and haven't liked, please do. We do appreciate it, and the support does help.
That heat builds up on my tongue was something. It dissipates quite quickly, the heat. It's like, I'd say 15 seconds later, it's got a lingering heat, but there's that's the potency of it, I think, as opposed to any flavour, because it didn't really have any. The heat doesn't anyway, but the flavour itself is still really calm and sweet and nice, and it's not too in your face. It's really nice. I don't remember trying this in the whiskey shop. I think he just gave it to us.
No, I think we did just get this one. We'll pour you some of this, and then went, oh, here you go.
I've got my whiskey notebook. I'm pretty sure this is not in it. So I'll confirm that for another day, because that book's in my bedroom.
No, I think they poured us the medicine bottle, and they saw how much was left in the actual bottle.
Yeah, we were divvying it all away. We had a few samples in a bag. We did divide them up afterwards. We had quite a few to go through, and it's like, you have this one, I have this one. I'll take the fuck class, it's mine now, I don't care. That's really nice.
Looking at the number of samples I have on my cabinet, we could probably do about 7 streams based on just sample bottles.
Don't forget all of mine on the bottom shelf behind the. Like I bought those Annandale ones and the really fancy little perfume bottle ones. Remember those?
Yeah.
The Manor Words ones. I was so excited, and we were like, "Well, shit, we can't do those yet." I could bring them up to. I mean, no, we can probably do one of yours next when I come up to yours at some point.
Yeah, I've got several sets. We've got the medicine bottles all here as well, haven't we?
Well, I've got sample sets down here, and obviously I can't do those at all, until whatever happens. But yeah, we'll. Yeah, you should do the 12. You should try it. You don't have to, of course not, but it's It's quite nice, actually.
Well, I will indulge. I made you do it for the suffering, so I will indulge.
I appreciate that. I'm going to put you back on this. So for those who don't know, so on this picture, the reason that the far class picture is like this, 14, as opposed to 13. Any other you see, is because I got told about 20 minutes before we went live that he didn't have the banner, maybe earlier, but I didn't really have a chance to change the image. So 20 minutes before we went live, I had to quickly make this picture. That was all I could do. So it's literally to my right, cause my desk is an L desk, and the right side is where I do my Warhammer painting. You can see models on the right side. So that's why the fuck, because it's literally just stood there, and I was like, well, I'll do that. Take a picture, crouch down slightly, and go from there. You there?
That is quite nice, actually. It's a bit more peppery.
Hi, Michael.
Holding it in your mouth. It tingles, but I see what you mean about the heat. It does kind of build and then go.
It doesn't linger. Right, I don't really mind. That's quite nice. I like that. I'm curious why 57.1 for the 8, 10, and 12. That has piqued my interest. Like, why does it why are all three 57.1 when not one of them is technically 100 proof?
Maybe because someone doing the math couldn't work that out and thought it was 100 proof.
Do you think they're American?
Maybe.
And find out who the master the bottler, the distiller is. Find out who that person is and tell them they can't count. See how quickly they block us on Not Worth a Cork. Although, fun fact, we are blocked by one person on Not Worth a Cork.
Really?
Yeah. And it's because...
Who have we offended?
No, we haven't. So basically, somebody who knew me from my commentary time, I railed them for being a fat loser there. They then found out I had I had 2 other Twitters. They didn't block me on the politics one, but they did block us on Not Worth a Cork, which I thought was hilarious.
Yay! It's been blocked. We must be famous.
We must be, with our 50 followers. Yeah.
We probably should use more of the Twitter and the Gram.
I try. I haven't used the Gram much these days. I haven't really. Yeah. I've been trying to get with Whisky Brew especially. I've just not been.
Yeah.
This is delightful.
Do some things with my samples or something, and
do a little pyramid. What do you think of this whiskey, though?
That's a big pyramid.
Yeah. Good luck working it out.
This is actually, I know. I think to a degree ignore the strength because it doesn't, to me, give the same level of punch as I'd expect. But you just think of it as a 12-year-old whiskey. Actually, it's quite refined, I think, for what it is. There's not a huge amount of flavour, though. That's the downside. I don't know if they're overcompensating for that by having it be that strong. But there's certainly less flavour in it than there is in other whiskies. I
do tend to agree. It is a Highland. Highlands carry usually a citrus flavour. It's very sharp. There's it's not coarse per se, but it feels like it's trying to be coarse. But this has still got a go on.
Not like the sort of florally notes you tend to get with the Speyside.
Yeah, and it's certainly not, and obviously the sweetness as well that comes with that. Lowlands are sweeter, but still, it's delightful. I think it's nice. It's a good drinking whiskey, I think. And for the price,
I'm not sure. Well, I don't know. I have enough left to try it. But I'm not sure how well it's going to go down as a shot. But
there we go. That one. There we go. Right. Okay. So this sells for 118 retail price, right? The 8 sells for 90 when it's not on discount. The 10 sells for 100. That's not a bad price, but when you're buying an 8-year-old whiskey, that has to be limited edition. No, 8-year-old is not a standard unless you're Porter-Skeg. Yeah. Okay, it's not a standard age statement.
Or bells.
We don't talk about bells.
This is not a shit
ski stream. Hello, Kat. Hope you're well. But yeah, Lou. I remember. I know you from Twitter. I recognise you now.
Wait, it's St. Paddy's weekend?
We should have done Irish, shouldn't we?
Have we got this wrong? Should we have done the two massive Irish collections we both got? Have we managed to mess this up?
Yeah, but I don't have a Tullamore 12 in my set anymore. I use that as a string whiskey. I've got 12 Irish whiskeys.
But it is as well. Monday.
F. So yeah, because these
for us, forgetting about the Irish Day.
Yeah, thank you. The 8 is not a standard, so that might be worth the price. The 10, I would argue, is not, because for a 10-year-old, you can get so many others, and you can. This is not because of the strength of it. Unless you're American and you're a glutton for punishment and think high ABV is what it's all about. This is not because even the Americans aren't going to pay that much for a single malt Scotch. Exclusives do mean because there's only 300 bottles, some people might collect it. And I do have a couple bottles from the whiskey shop that I put aside because I'm like, that might work, I didn't know St. Paddy's Day was coming up. I honestly, we don't do St. George's Day, so I just paid less attention to any of that.
We could though. We have enough English whiskey from the St. George's distillery,
as it used to very
well be early days.
Yeah, we did last year though, didn't we? Well, we didn't do St. George's, but we did an English stream. Yeah. We have to find different English whiskies.
I have lakes somewhere.
I've got one, the Manzanilla, but that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I would say that if you want to buy something like this, you have to be a collector realistically, because you're not buying this to share with people, just to have a drink. Yet this drink's like a drinking whiskey, not a sipping whiskey. Does that make sense? Oh, did you shoot this, by the way?
I mean, that little sample set is quite cool. It's expensive, obviously, but that's quite good for the what they are, the age statement ones.
Have you shot this, by the way?
No, I'm trying to get rid of the ad. They won't let me skip it.
No, shot the whiskey.
Yes, I'll get it. I was just trying to get rid of the ad on YouTube.
The ad's on your part, not on everyone else. How many?
Yeah, but it's annoying me, so I was trying to get rid of it. Right. Anyway, going down.
How many different English whiskies could there be? There's a few. There are quite a few. The newest entry is Filey Bay from Yorkshire. I have a sample set of that, actually. I don't know if David does, but I do. We actually tried a Filey Bay, their standard Filey Bay, when we were in the whiskey shop for a tasting evening. Very first time we'd ever been to one, and both of us won whiskey, so it was great. Because it's a young distillery, you don't expect too much. It was a little spirity, but you blew that off the top, and yeah, it was quite nice. It was better than the Highland Park 15, which has me slightly concerned. But it was good. How did that go down, by the way?
Worryingly, very well.
So it definitely isn't a sipping whiskey, then, is it?
It was not overly strong on the shot. It was not burning and not excessively melting my insides as it goes down. It's actually very smooth.
Yeah.
That works as a shot quite well.
Oh, lovely. See, I've been doing meg sips, which are less than a Dave sip. Unit of measure, I know. And it does sip nicely. It just isn't really that kind of. I don't think is that because the heat part. I don't think it is that kind of drink. It's still really nice though. I'll happily, because I don't have. If this was a bottle I'd never opened, I'd just stick it in the collection and it would stay there for a while. Because it's open though. This could well be a stream whiskey for a few weeks when I run out of something just to send it. The bottle will then be a bottle light because only 300 of those exist, so why not? Nothing wrong with a bottle light. It saves electricity. Right, well, I'll send mine so we can move on to the next one. Hang on, I've got to yawn first.
Especially after we found those fancy bottle lights that go on the top of the bottle and like that, rather than LEDs going inside.
I had to yawn. Thank you for that. I'm glad you talked because I was yawning. Not because I'm tired. I'm not tired. I swear down. I might be, but I'm not. Okay. Anyway, YOLO swag fam.
Megan's doing the traditional YOLO swag fam. It's his method of drinking.
That goes down well. Nice and sweet. It's very cool because my bottle's quite cold. It goes down really smoothly. It's very. It's got a little sweetness, a little tartness on the back of the tongue. An ever so slight smoke. I don't know if you feel that.
Yeah.
But I can feel there's something slightly smoky.
I think if you gave that to someone who wasn't a whiskey drinker and made them shoot it, I think they would like it until you made them have a sip of it.
Yeah, shots. Yeah, you're right. I think, it's too strong.
It's a weird one given how strong it is, but
it's too strong for the casual drinker.
Yeah. But it actually goes down so smoothly on a shot that I don't think you'd notice it as much.
Mm-hmm. So in the chat, Kat says, how late is it there? Currently, it is 2010. Yes, I've used a 24. You're welcome. We have not had our daylight savings yet. It's not until the 30th, which is oddly enough when my dog gets a haircut. So hopefully she'll be well enough by then for that. She'll have 15 days to recover. I'm happy. She's doing really well. She tried to run up the stairs earlier. She got halfway before my sister caught her. She genuinely is quite agile, even with the stitches, and she really should be running up the stairs, but she tries it. Anyway, I'm going to agua my glass because, of course,
when she tries to jump on your bed, that's going to be the problem.
The floor's laminated. She won't be able to. She doesn't actually do that anymore. She won't. Anyway, you got agua your glass for two reasons: hide trash to treasure. For those who don't know, it's to clear your glass, but also clean your palate.
And most importantly, if you drink it, it doesn't water down your next whiskey.
Unless David's... Oh, well, there is that. Of course, there's sometimes a risk of David recoiling at this more than any other flavour. He doesn't like water. He photosynthesizes. So next on the list...
This is the only time I drink neat water, is palate cleansing on whiskey streams.
Feels a bit strange to say that. Next on the list is Highland Park 12. Now, you might notice, if you know anything about Highland Park, they have, since this bottle's existence, rebranded twice. Now, this is the pre-2007 design. Now, I have this bottle, and David does too, I believe. Yes? Yeah. David did a little digging this evening.
Pre-2017, I think, not pre-2007.
My mistake. Let me just... You're correct, thank you. So, David is going to tell you... about something. I was going to... No, you completely derailed me. I don't know what I was going to say. There was something and I'd completely forgotten.
Sorry.
That's all right. It happens. It's all right. You have to correct. It's your pedantic nature.
Well, you were 10 years out, to be fair.
It doesn't really matter, does it, though?
I haven't owned it since 2007, damn it.
Be honest. Honestly, the only reason I bought it was because it was in a co-op in Norwich. I saw it and I was like, I'm having it. And I got this one off Corner Shop guy. I wanted it for years. Okay, so anyway, the reason... Oh, that's what it was. The prices of this. That's what I was going to ask you to tell them about.
Ah, yes. So we both have an older bottle. So as Meg said, they rebranded it in 2017. And they made it the Highland Park 12 Viking Honour, I think it was called.
Yeah, Viking Scars like this 10, wasn't it?
Yeah, and now they've rebranded again at the end of last year, and it's gone back to just being the 12, but they've made it so plain, it now looks, well, very dull on the shelf. But with the 12, when I was looking earlier for information about these, obviously you have to hunt to find this one now. We've managed to find some information on good chaps at Master Malt. They have them. And they're apparently retailing there for £80, just under a few pennies, which is about double the price of probably what we would have paid for it. I don't know how much the current one is.
So I paid 20 for this because the guy at the corner shop did me a deal. Remember, he always nices me. But David had found it higher up as well in price. So
£42 for the current new standard one. But yes, whilst hunting around for information on it, it was hard to find because of the age of the bottles we both own. And one particular site I stumbled across is listing them for the pre-2017 single malt, 700ml, so same size bottle as we have.
Yeah,
£236.
That is quite the price. David, before we started this, had said to me, "Is yours open?" And I think it was because he'd found that price. Now, until I realised Master Malt had two bottles at still a fairly high price, but the price of 70-ish quid, I thought, I'm not really too fussed about opening this or not opening it, because it's Highland Park 12. I'm not really too fussed. They haven't technically changed the contents, apparently.
No, the contents, the whiskey is apparently still the same.
Yeah, and the handy thing here is I've got the box to my hand. This is very informative, and this is the traditional design for it. But thank you. This is when they first started to, as you can tell in the box, introducing that sort of Norse iconography, which they fully went into. The bottles themselves had all those embossings on, and that's where my 15 Highland Park Fire Edition. Look it up; it looks fire, obviously. And David has the 17 Ice Edition came from. Obviously, mine first, his second, because the pair is just awesome. We did a live stream on it on this channel, in fact, and
it was one of our earliest ones, wasn't it?
It was, and I think it was when it was called the Cthulhucan and Friends Show. Last year, Highland Park announced they were updating. So I'm gonna show you Master of Malt quickly. Here we are. This is the original pre-20. I can hear myself back, by the way, David.
Sorry, I started leaning forwards while I was moving the jigger and things around.
This is 2017 pre-edition. This is what I have. I did not pay that. But if we go here and go Highland Park, I'm just going to show you what the current version looks like. If it's here it is. Look at this absolute dog plop. It's also listed as a no. They kept the H logo fine. The bottle, look at that. It looks like English food. It's so bland. I swear the font is Times New Roman in caps lock. Honestly, it's just no. And this sells for 42 quid. It looks like crap. But the Highland Park, the Viking edition, look at the Viking Honor. Look at that. That is a Highland Park you want to buy. Because that looks the shit. I would rather buy this. In fact, it's still in stock. I would rather have that. Honestly. Yeah,
because they went through and did different things. So I've got a bottle of the Dragon Legend, which is a non-age statement one, which has the same style of iconography and things on it from that era. They do look good, don't they? The ones with all the Viking stuff on them.
It's the embossing on the glass.
Beige indeed.
Yes, it's very beige. I can't be bothered. Here it is. Right, sorry. I accidentally got rid of it. I might put the other two up just for a second, just so we can see something, because I want to show you the tasting. Oh, there's no tasting notes on this one, but it should be got on the. We have it on the box. It's fine. This one here has tasting notes. If I go down to this one, it's the exact same tasting notes, but because they've rebranded it, none of the Spirit Awards that this has received are on it. This has won Spirit Awards up until more recently in 2022. Which is good. A double gold, single malt Scotch to 12 years at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition, which, I'll be honest, means sod all because it's San Francisco, which means the standards are fairly low in the first place. Yes, I went there. Just be glad this isn't sold in needles. But anyway, the OG version says here's 3 Spirit Awards. Apparently, when they rebranded it, it didn't carry these bronzes and silver up to the better version. I think so. The one thing about Highland Park is I think they did make the right move when they rebranded from this bottle design to Viking Honor, because this the box was better. It's a nice double thick box. The bottle.
I think it fit in with the iconography and everything of the series they were doing. So if they did like the Norse Gods series and that as well. They all kind of
it's sort of Celtic together as well. It had that Celtic approach as well. It just looked the part. And then it gets the more recent one. Oh, Nelle. Now, when we did the tasting evening, we tried the Highland Park 15. Now, it was the worst one. Okay, straight up. Right, it was the worst one. Filey Bay was next, but it wasn't bad. Lechig was third. I think Edredale came second, and the Kalila came first.
Yeah.
But it was. And by the way,
the top 3 were
good.
I would say in a different league to the Highland Park and the Filey Bay.
Filey Bay was outmatched because it's brand new. Highland Park should have known better, but this tasted bad. The 15, and that annoyed me because my 15, the Fire Edition, is absolutely gorge.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the what was it? Secret Malt one we had. Secret Orkney.
Oh yeah. I tried it the next day.
You had it the next day.
Yeah, I tried it with many
things. That was a lot better. And that's basically a 15-year-old Highland Park.
I don't remember.
The secret version.
Okay. Well, I'm neither. Is your 12 open, by the way?
Yeah, mine's just under half.
Okay, mine has not been opened. So I've got to find the thingy for this. Oh, I heard you pop a cork. I should have remembered that. Right. Oh,
yes, mine did have a decent pop, to be fair.
Oh well, hopefully mine does too.
It's its second outing of the evening because I used it to pre-game on mistake.
Okay, the cork didn't sound as good. Give me a second. Okay, that was terrible. Oh. It was very underwhelming.
Would you like me to do mine again, sir?
Yeah, please do. Oh, that's better.
Nice.
My cork's a bit moist.
There's more open bottle of mine to get more air in.
Oh yeah, it's like people who use jugs as instruments. It's that thing, isn't it? The acoustics.
Yours is too full to get a greater volume.
Yeah, well,
of sound.
Technically it's a brand new bottle, but it's not. So on the back of this, it says, at Highland Park we insist on an uncompromising approach to whiskey making. We're one of only a handful of distilleries that slowly malt its barley on a stone floor. That's because normally it's done like a. I've seen people do that with rakes and they shovel and they move it, throw it around, don't they?
Yeah.
Turning it by hand and thereby delivering a more balanced flavour. Next, we smoke the barley over aromatic peat, hand cut from Hobbyster Moor to bring a unique, fragrant heather character to the whiskey. Then the spirit is taken from the stills and carefully filled into sherry oak casks from España, or Spain in this one. These deliver, I wait for David to correct me there, priceless natural colour and a distinctive honey sweetness, perfectly complementing the aromatic peat. Next comes the hardest part, leaving it undisturbed for 12 more years to mature in the consistently, sorry, the font is strange here, cool Orcadian air. I've never seen that word before, so I don't know what that means. When it's ready, we choose and combine our best casks, then leave them to settle and harmonise. The result is a uniquely smooth, balanced single malt with a rich, full flavour and a gentle, smoky finish. It's the kind of dram you long for when you've worked as hard as we have. On the back of this, the font is all over the place. The back of the tube.
It is, yeah.
It's all over the place, and it annoys me, but it's fine. This should, at 40%, it should. It's the weakest one. It's one of the weakest. But that's not a surprise. It should.
Joint weakest, I think. Yeah.
It should be the same tasting notes as this, right? It should be, all right. But I can't guarantee it. But then it's just a rebrand of the bottle and the labelling. Again, this the superior one. Neither of us own it. Just saying. If you want bottle pop ASMR, David's your man. Anyway, so I have a little sniffer. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Yes. Very well. Yes.
Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of awards for it, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the middle one.
Yeah, well, technically, if it's the same one, it's got 12 awards, because it's got 2 bronzes and a silver as well to add to this. So it is a well-celebrated whiskey. I'm kind of curious, actually. I want to see what the 15 said. Let's find out.
That's how I do like the smell of this. It's not quite peaty. A little bit of smoke, but quite sort of caramel sweet.
Oh, fuck off, website. You're not working. Okay. It refuses to work when I type. Yeah, it's literally locking me out when I try and search, so I'm not going to bother. Okay. Anyway, yeah, it says on the nose, fresh, clean, very aromatic. Floral notes abound the senses with a light grassiness. Notes of creamy manuka honey and a touch of juicy citrus with cream and a well-balanced sweetness. This doesn't smell as potent as the first, so it's a lot easier to pick up those sort of sweeter and citrusy notes.
Yeah.
Not as easy to distinguish with the Far Class. I was going to put up the Highland Park 15, by the way. What I'll do is I'll go here for a second. Yeah, and I'll try and refresh the web page to allow me to look up something. It's literally making me verify the web page first. Fuck you.
Has it got to check you're human because it's going to fail?
It's doing its best.
Can Cthulhu-kins pass the Are You Human random number generator test?
You certainly wonder. Okay, so I did want to check and see where the 15 stood, and it's not got a single award to its name. That's all I wanted to know.
Oof.
The 15 has nothing.
That's not great, is it, for a 15-year-old whiskey?
But the 18 has 7. So I feel like the 15 they failed on. I'll pull it up for those who are interested. Here we are. This is the. Oh, hang on. Here we are. This is the 15. This is the better one. Viking Heart. No awards to its name. I mean, it's got potential, I'm sure. And the 18 here, Viking Pride, has 7 Spirit Awards. Are we actually on the? Oh, we are. Why was Nika 12 on this on the?
I was only about to say that it doesn't appear to be changing, but I was just waiting in case my internet had done its weird thing with YouTube again.
What the fuck was that about? I pressed the right number. Don't try me with that BS. Nika 12's not to like number 5, bitch. I pressed 7. 7. 7.
7.
Right.
7.
Here.
7.
Here's the 15. Not my 15, just to be clear. But I could pull up. It might be on here. You never know. Highland Park 15. Let's have a look. Let's see if they've got mine on here.
I think Fire was on there last time I looked for it.
Here it is. This is my 15. As you can tell, mine's a bit different. No awards, but this is a well, it's a spectacle piece, okay. And I bought it for 150. It's double the value now. But anyway, back to the 12 pre-2017. Where the tasting? I haven't got the tasting notes in. Where have I? We'll go here.
It does look the business, the Fire, doesn't it?
It does when compared to the Highland Park 12 beige edition. It's certainly the most ostentatious, I think, of the bottles I got. It's not the most expensive, but it's one of the most. It is the most ostentatious. It has to be. So anyway, cheers. I'm gonna have a little sippy sip. Ooh, there's definitely a peaty quality right at the end. It's a bit of citrus, but it's definitely a bit more earthy, I find.
Yeah. What I like is you get a kind of smooth, slightly. It could be that obviously the honey, but that slightly caramelly layer.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of sort of smoke over the top, and then the peat at the end. It's very well balanced, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And I'm sorry about this bottle design. I really am. I need to go and get mine back. Which is it here? It's
to be fair though, what you do though, if you like the whiskey, you'd buy that and you'd pour it into the bottle we've got, wouldn't you? You wouldn't.
Oh yeah, I would keep my bottle anyway. I don't intend. I don't think.
Or at the very least, put it in the tube that we have, assuming it fits.
Well, the bottle does look a bit wider. I think the one thing that the new and the Viking themed one have, the boxes were better quality. That can't be denied, but the box isn't enough. Because I'm not there to look at a box, unlike David. I'm there, I want to enjoy the contents of the bottle, you know? And I don't think...
Yeah, because the ones we've got are weird, aren't they? Because they've got, like, a metal bottom and top.
Well, it's the Jura, isn't it?
Kind of... You think it's solid, but actually the cardboard in the middle is quite squidgeable.
Yeah, it's Jura. It's their boxes, their tubes as well.
Yeah.
It was that breaking of tradition where others did round tubes, and that and a few of those have gone square, which I hate. I think boxes are better. In fact, the remaining 3 whiskies we have all have much nicer boxes because they're double thick. They're just really good on the hands, you know. I think it's very important. It sounds like a nothing burger, really, but it's important to be able to protect what you've got. Yeah. And a decent quality box is key if you want to keep the box. Although I would say with these kind of whiskies, like what Highland Park 12 is, generally you're not keeping it. You're not. It's not a collection piece. It's a standard whiskey. So I will happily say I wouldn't be too upset if I didn't have the box to this, because it's not a whiskey you're collecting. You shouldn't be collecting Highland Park 12. If you want to collect, you want to go and get yourselves ones that will go up in value a bit. Things that are limited release, small batch. But
like we did, and then we opened them.
What? Which ones?
The Fire and the Ice.
Oh, that doesn't count because that was my January treat. You just got yours because, you know, ice. Hi, Chubby Dumpling. Hope you're well. Hello, Em. Hope you're doing well today. Yeah, my January treat was from like 4 years ago now. That was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Jeez, how times have not changed in the slightest. Anyway, 12 seconds are yours, by the way.
That's fine. I'll happily do that. Just get the timer back up. There we go. Right. So 15 seconds is going to start in just a second.
Okay.
And then I'll go in for 12.
Marvellous. I will say this is while a lot sharper on the palate. It's more forgiving, but it's still a fair bit of strength in the flavour. It's quite nice, though, I will admit. It says on the box here, a uniquely smooth, balanced single malt with a rich, full flavour and a gently smoky finish. I don't think it's as balanced as I think it is, but I know that to sell it, they have to put these buzzy buzz things in, the terms, just to get more people interested in what you are producing, what you're selling. And this is a standard whiskey that's been around for a long time. It really has, and I genuinely believed for the longest time it was a Highland whiskey.
Yeah, the name makes you automatically think, oh, Highland Park, that's a Highland. It's right there in the name. They wouldn't lie about that.
Yeah, it does feel like false advertising. They go, oh, it's the Orkney Islands. Yes, but it doesn't make it a Highland whiskey as well. It's an island, not Ireland. No, island. Yes, Island, as it were. Island, yes. I find it quite irritating because I'm going to have to go into my whiskey notebooks and correct a few of them with Tipp-Ex and pens. That's a lot of effort for someone as lazy as me, okay? I'd rather sit down, eat chocolate and watch Reacher, okay? Or just sit down and eat chocolate.
It is quite nice on the, if you hold it. It probably doesn't develop too much more than what you get when you just sip it normally.
Right.
The smoke builds up a little bit more.
Yeah.
And it's slightly warmer on the finish, but it just kind of elevates it slightly. It doesn't really change too much.
Okay. Well, I don't want. This is sound a bit rude, but because we've got 5 whiskies and I have to go back to the house at some point this evening, I'm going to send mine now so we can move on to the next one. As we've been here for just over an hour. I know.
Yeah, we have, haven't we?
We've been prattling. I do apologise, but it's in our nature. So
it wouldn't be a Not Worth a Cork episode if we didn't prattle along a bit, and it'd be far longer than it needed to be.
It's much easier to prattle though in person. Much easier. Yeah. And with the whole bar as well, it's just better. Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
Anyway, YOLO swag fam.
Right. That's quite a... Yeah, oh well. Going down. YOLO.
Very sweet. And quite pronounced on the citrusy. Quite nice though. That's all right. Definitely not really a shooting. It's not really a shooting whiskey, but you can shoot it.
Yeah, you get a lot more of the citrus on that, don't you?
I agree. And Hannibal,
it's sharper as well, I think.
Yes, the sharpness I noticed. Hannibal, I need to buy the books. I've got one, but it's the most recent book. I need to get the others and work my way through them, I think, because I quite enjoyed the show. Whew, that was nice.
Dad's got the books. I'm sure he's got a set of those books.
Yes, well, until he passes, I can't have them, can I? And I'm not in his will for those. I'm in his will for bloody whiskey. So, next on the agenda is a whiskey in my set that I haven't opened, and I bought this last January, along with the I've just heard the plastic seal there break. I bought this along with the 16 and the 20 because I did Madness last year, and my list didn't have Mortlach on originally, but then I couldn't get one thing I wanted, so the Mortlach 20 and the 16 and the 12 and thought, swag, I'm having that. This is...
save the Highland Park.
What?
Sorry, I knocked the Highland Park over.
Oh, okay. This is...
It's awkward, but...
Mortlach 12 is called the Wee Witchy. It is 2.81 distilled. Don't know what that means, but okay. It says underneath, an ode to the still that bears the beast of Dufftown. Now, Dufftown is the capital city of Scotch whisky. A lot of the major distilleries come from there. Speyside is kind of king for it, to be honest, but Dufftown is the most well known. For the likes of Fiddick, Balvenie, Singleton, it's not totally uncommon. Okay, my bottle wasn't open.
Not Duff Man, and not Duff Beer.
Oh yeah, Duff Man is here. Yes, I used to be able to do a good voice for that as well, and I can't anymore.
I'm going to assume they were like how can we make this different? We could triple distill it. And they got partway through the third time and we're like,
that's
I'm
enough.
bored now.
Yeah, that's enough.
Let's just stick it in a barrel.
That's enough. I'm done with this shit. I'm beyond it. So it is matured for 12 years in both sherry and bourbon casks to enhance the robust character of the spirit. I love the bottle for this.
The bottle is nice.
It's
got a nice heft to it as well.
The thickness at the bottom. It's not very thick, as in when you grip your hand. It's just very wide and flat, but it's got nice. It feels great. The 20 I've opened, and I had a glass with myself. I've had a glass with David. I've had a glass with my dad. I've listed it as one of my best whiskies, quite frankly. If one day we did simply the best as a whiskey stream, or did two for David's collection and mine, the Mortlach would more than likely feature. Well, the 20 anyway. I do like a sherry cask age as well. But 12 is so that's the thing with the 12s. It's quite common for 12-year-old age statement whiskies to be a sherry cask anyway, unless your name is Glenmorangie and you decided that will now be a 15.
Well, yeah,
we're not salty.
You started off with it being a 12, and you're like, well, everyone does a sherry cask of 12 now, so we'll make it a 15.
Dicks. But yeah, no, that's another reason for the 12, because that is such a standard age. It is arguably the quintessential age statement for a whiskey.
It's probably the most common, I would say, starter level whiskey for most distilleries as well. If you've got a set of whiskey, most of them probably start as a 12, and then there's 12, 15, 18 or so, but 12 is normally where it starts, isn't it?
It is also the most sold age statement whiskey in the world. It is the most.
That's just us buying Johnny Walker Black.
Johnny Walker leads the way on the 12s, though, to be fair, because of Black. But then Fiddick is not far behind. It's just quite normal in that respect. Mortlach, though, is a bit more obscure. They do have some very boutique-y ones. The 12 and the 16 come in nice boxes, giggity, and the 20 comes in an even nicer box, giggity. So I'm going to pop my cork and see if we can hear it this time.
Meg does like a good box. So mine apparently is open because I have no plastic seal.
We had a glass at yours once.
I was going to say, I have a feeling we might have tried this one.
Oh yeah, we had it at yours because I hadn't had it before.
Oh,
nice.
Well, that was nice.
Very.
There's your ASMR, people.
Very unagi. Unagi.
Salmon skin roll.
Indeed. I've just dropped the cork. That was marvelous.
F.
Yeah, it just decided to roll down every single angle it really shouldn't have gone. All right.
It was worth a cork, but now it's not.
Unfortunately, I can't get a screw top on that. It's not designed for it. Thanks for being here, Hannibal. We appreciate it. Hope you have a wonderful evening sleeping or settling down.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so according to this, I'll go here for the tasting notes. Un moment, s'il vous plaît. Here we are. This has 3 Spirit Awards from 2022 back to 2020, so it's not received many, but when it has, it's been more recent. Its most recent being a silver in San Francisco, again meaning nothing. So 2020, when it got gold, it deserved it. Although I don't know how long Mortlach 12's been around for, actually, because I would admit I have not. I mean, they've been around as a whiskey for a while, but their whiskey's not really something I used to see much in the shops. The 12 here sells for $68.75. I did not pay $68.75 for this. I think I paid maybe $55. I'll quickly show on the screen actually the contrast. So this is the 12. The 20 comes in that kind of box where the box opens as a door. It's beautiful.
The Mortlach 12 was unveiled in 2018.
Yeah, that makes sense. It is delightful. David owns 2 of the Diageo special release Mortlachs. I'll show them on the screen as well. He paid $2.50 for them. This is last year's. It opens as a massive doorway. I have it as well, but part of a set. He has the previous year because it was done in Mizunara, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. Kanosuke Japanese whiskey, and Pinot Noir. That was it. Because a lot of the 2023 were wine casks, weren't they?
Yeah.
And I love that now costs. 2023 doesn't cost that much now, but comparative. But the 2024, same box style. David just needs the 2022 version to have a complete trilogy of these boxes. But yeah. Anyway.
Maybe I get the 2025 version. You never know.
Well, you still got to get the 2020, 2021, 2022, haven't you? Although 2021 is the Wolf one that I own. And it's not the same box. Hello, Judas. Hope you're well. This and the paint fumes I'm currently inhaling are very relaxing. Well, I hope it's good paint. I hope it is. Don't forget to do a line. Cut it. This one says here, this is a 12-year-old single malt produced at the distillery in Speyside, unveiled in 2018. Part of the trio. So the trio thing's an interesting thing I wanted to do on Not Worth Cork. I wanted to do what I call a quest to find the perfect trilogy. Every major distillery has a trilogy of their standard whiskies. 12, 15, 18 is what it usually is. For Mortlach is 12, 16 and 20, which I think is actually a better way of going about it, with the age being 4 years apart. Because they're not as big as other distilleries, they have yet to get to the stage where they make a non-age statement whiskey to account for the fact they can't make enough of their standards to appease everyone. The tasting notes on this are very limited, but we still have stuff. Comments underneath are mostly in favour. In fact, let's see what they've got one star comment. Let's go and find it.
Don't worry. At some point, we will do a reviewing whiskey reviews stream. They were 2-star as well. I found the 2-star. Oh, there's the 1-star.
I changed the sort by to 1. I wouldn't buy it again. I've tasted blended malts way cheaper that are better. Well, we'll do a blended malt later, don't you worry. A premium blend, in fact. But the tasting notes for this on the nose: Damson. I don't know what that is. Is that Ted Damson? Or is that Danson?
I don't know if it's a fruit or a flower.
I don't know. Toasted almond, cinder toffee, and heavy barley. Is that just barley, some fat?
I was going to say, what's heavy barley and how is that different to light barley?
I don't even know what light barley is.
Probably just barley. I don't know.
There's a toasted sort of quality to the nose. There's definitely something toasted about it, but I can't tell because my nose has decided when I do the nose on this, it just wants to. It's not blocked or anything. It just wants to malfunction and go, no, you've taken enough in. It just doesn't want to work.
I do get a little bit of the nuttiness.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know it was almond, but there's something that smells a bit like a nut of some form.
So I have beside me my on the floor one of my whiskey notebooks, and the one in question. This has the very first entry in this is it's the 16. I listed the 16 at 4 out of 5 stars, and the Mortlach 20 Cowie's Blue Seal at 5. I'm curious to see where I'd position this compared to those, because I've written pretty comprehensive notes in here on each one. The Mortlach, page 11. There it is. Found it.
You say about the age statement thing, and they're not doing the non-age statements. The only non-age statements they do are the Diageo special releases. They don't do any others.
Well, after 2021, yes. 2021 was a 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, but afterwards, 2022 and beyond is no age statement. But it was speculated 2023 was a 10. Because they did say in the release, remember, that they said all of them are, and then they showed the Mortlach had no age statement. It was like, well, what the fuck's this? And the Talisker had no age statement either, didn't it? That was strange.
Yeah, I remember they said, they pretty much said that basically all of them were at least 10 years old, I think was what they tried to say, wasn't it?
Okay. So have a sip, David, and tell me what you think while you're sipping. Anyway, have a sip. The palate says warming oak and soft raisins with a bit of olive oil salinity mixed in. Now, I found this to be quite soft and sweet. Definitely warms a little bit. I don't know what olive oil tastes like because I don't make it a point to drink olive oil. The finish, a bit...
Oh, you should. It's really good.
No. A bit jammy, a bit nutty, some, sounds like David's football playing, some lingering citrus oils cutting through, and I'm not wrong, Dave the Diver.
Says you with the bastard shot with Thompson.
I'm a goalkeeper. I will take any shot I can give, okay? It's just not in my nature to shoot. Unless it's a drink.
Soft, yes. Honestly, olive oil, not quite sure, but oily, yeah, I would almost go with that. There is a kind of thick smoothness to it, which isn't like a caramel toffee smoothness.
Extra thick, or
I can Only one or two extra C's though, not too many. I can kind of get where they're going with that. It's not particularly saline of it, but that if you did have,
read the chat.
Having been on holiday places where they make olive oil, I've tried olives and olive oil, and it does have that kind of.
Read the chat.
I'm trying to best way of explaining it, but that kind of thick, smooth oiliness to it.
Read the chat.
Probably better words to use to describe it, but.
Thank you, by the way.
I only have a humanities degree, or 3 of them. I don't need to use words.
Thank you, Chubby Dumpling, for the comment that I tried to get David to read 3 times. Olive oil has a bitter, floral, and terra flavour profile.
Okay. Yes. I'll go with that. There we go.
I figured while you were talking, it would have been handy to then introduce that, because it would have made more sense and it might have helped you.
Yeah.
But
sorry, I had the tasting notes on the screen.
That's totally fine. Yes. Anyway, no, this is quite nice. And I guess it's my turn to do the 12 seconds. So, do you want to pull up 15 and whatever, and let me know when?
Right. So 15 starting now, and okay. I'll say sip on 13 again. So 15 starting now, and sip, and we're away. But I honestly, now you said it, I remember we did try this, but I can't remember trying this, and I can't remember what it was like. But this is really nice. I'm surprised, because I think I probably would remember it, because it's a bit. That's it. By the way, 12 seconds.
Yeah.
It's a bit different to a lot of the other ones in the way it sort of presents in the mouth.
So, interesting little thing. That made my mouth nearly dribble, because that made everything go, ooh, moisture. Some whiskies we've had made the mouth go quite dry. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Complete opposite. This was a moistening drink, you know? Well, it affected my mouth.
Is it a 250-bit drink?
It's definitely moist. It definitely made my mouth moisten up, which was very unusual. I love these streams because I don't drink anymore, but I find these invaluable because we do whiskey dinners a lot. Really? Oh, that's cool. We should do whiskey dinner. 3-course meal, you know. Obviously, we have a pre-dinner pre-meal of Johnny Walker Black.
Yes, we would definitely advise your aperitifs to be Johnny Walker Black.
What about the hors d'oeuvres?
Double black.
I was going to go Talisker, but I'll take that.
So that's your fish course.
This is a tally 10. Oh, how lovely! Glug. Dessert, Mediterranean orange. Hey.
Yeah. Well, for those who don't like fruit, here's some Kendallman cake.
Oh, that's just a given. that's filth. I was going to go with the acacia honey or the chocolate orange, but you know what?
True, yeah.
But you know what? Kendallman can be done between meals. Just to freshen up your breath.
Yeah.
Go brush your teeth with what? Kendallman.
And something porty to finish is your cheese and port.
Mm-hmm. Make sure Dave's last in the queue though, because otherwise he'll eat all of it. The fat
Actually, speaking
bastard.
of cheese,
you've run out, haven't you?
Obviously, you know I had the narrowboat wobbly.
You've run out, haven't you?
Yeah, I finished that. I started the one you got me as part of the Christmas presents today, the whiskey orange one.
Oh, yeah?
That was also quite nice. It wasn't quite as strong on the whiskey sense as the narrowboat wobbly one.
It won't be, though, will it?
But it worked very well. It melted nicely on my crumpets. It had a very smooth texture and nice, wasn't overpowering of orange. It was just a nice sort of subtlety in there. It was a very, very tasty crumpet lunch.
I might buy myself some crumpets tomorrow for breakfast. And do all 6 of them for a whole meal. Yes. Anyway, so do you think this is this whiskey because of the price point? That's another point we need to raise, actually. So this sits at $68.75. I promise you, I did not pay that much for this. I think I paid about $50 for this last year. 55 maybe at most.
I don't think I paid that much for it either.
This annoyingly, this is not what they normally charge. It's definitely a case of it's been hammered, but I'm going to put it on the screen. So I'm going to go to the whiskey shop quickly and get the price for it from them, because I think that's important. I don't think they'll have the same price as well though. For example, their 20s went up from 250 to 283. I paid 250. It's 71 on their website.
Yeah.
So I know that it's a case that this has definitely gone up. I think it was 55, but it's because of that stupid tax and duty they introduced last year. 4 to 12 course set. Oh. 4 to 12 rounds, David. I've done that before.
And, where do we go for this? Do you do bookings? Can we partake? Can we have a Not Worth a Cork?
Do you validate parking?
Evening?
Do you validate parking by chance?
It's a business dinner. We can claim our expenses.
We're... You're not driving on the way out, though. One hand on the wheel each. It counts as both of us driving. It's fine. Both screw the breathalyzer, but it doesn't matter. Anyway.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a sipping whiskey, a drinking whiskey, or a shooting whiskey, David?
Well, I haven't shot it yet, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but it certainly sips well.
Yeah. What about a drink? Like, have you had a glug?
If I have a glug, I won't have enough to shoot.
That's because you do Dave sips. You need to learn to do Meg sips so you can spread it out. Interesting little factoid, though. On the Whisky Shop website, it does reference the awards. It also references other flavours. Oak, sandalwood, toffee, berries, demerara sugar, dark chocolate, tobacco, meaty, and plum. I love plums. That's
plum or plump?
There's no extra P on the end. It's not my dog. And she's not very plump yet, sadly. She's lost 4 kilos. She needs to put on some weight first. It's. I don't reckon. I mean, the plum would make sense because of a sherry. Plum puddings, it makes sense. Berries as well. Demerara sugar, perhaps. Dark chocolate, I didn't really get that. Tobacco, definitely don't. I don't eat tobacco. Meaty though, he eats more meat than I do, and unfortunately, he is mostly steak.
Umami. That elusive umami.
You're not eating umami, you bitch.
No, I'm eating after eight. No, not till after the stream.
my after eights. What are you talking about? Sausage. Anyway,
so if you, not the 12-second, but if you have a bigger mouthful, because I have just tried, and tried to leave myself enough to shoot. If you hold it towards the back of your mouth for a second before you swallow it, you do get a slightly different set of flavours. Right. I'm not sure if it's dark chocolate, but there's something a little bit more sort of bitter.
That might be dark. To be fair, that might be our I mean, I noticed that. I mean, part of me is now thinking, have I had a cigarette? 'Cause maybe I'm noticing tobacco, and I'm like, but I've never smoked, so I don't know what that tastes like. I'm confused.
Nor have I. So neither of us are going to pick that up.
Only ever been a second-hand smoker. Only a second-hand smoker at best. I don't understand, if that makes sense. I'm a little bit on the noob side.
Well, not that I've ever had damson either, so I can't tell what it smells like.
I don't know what damson is. I thought it was an actor. Okay, well, anyway, I'll put the bottle back on the screen. It is highly regarded. It's a good whiskey. I will, for those who are interested, I will pull up the 16 so you can see 16 3 Spirit Awards, gold, double gold, and master. It's very well received. We got where's the 20? There it is. The 20 has 3 Spirit Awards as well. And it's also, I think this is absolutely sublime, just to be clear. It's delicious. 43.4, 43.4, and the 12, 43.4. So somebody at Diageo's gone, 43.4 is a really good number. It's like Bunnahabhain with the 46.3.
What we need to do is work out what the significance of 434 is to Diageo.
There is a 16-year-old Mortlach Flora and Fauna in the similar bottles to your Blair Athol, the other ones I've told you about. But it's £399.
Ooh. Yeah,
what was the one I got you last?
Collection.
Was it Ben Rins I got you last year? 15.
Yeah, Ben Rins and Blair Athol. I've got
very similar label design.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe that's the OG version.
That's a lot.
I think it's the old version because it says here part of a private collection. That must be. Okay, well, I'll come back here.
That's a lot. That's more than
that's Meg territory. When you buy stuff, that's the territory Meg goes to. Am I drunk yet? No, don't be stupid. I necked a buzzball last night after I was paid quite a lot of money to do it. I can promise you this. I was not buzzed then. I'm hardly going to be buzzed now, and I am going to, because I think we've been here for an hour and a half now. Nearly. I'm going to send this so we can move on to the next one.
I have already sent mine, and
okay.
It went down quite nicely.
YOLO swag fan.
Although I think it sips and drinks better than it shoots, but that's not saying it's a bad shot. Just I think it works better as a sipping and drinking.
So I think it is better drinking, but that went down for me as someone that can shoot freely most things. That went beautifully. It was very sweet for me, but it might be a difference in flavour thing, because I do really good on you can't really do shots. I can, and glug things. You don't really neck things. This feels like something you could just neck, and it's not. But the thing with this is where a lot of people who do necking whiskies, generally those whiskies aren't necked because of how sweet they are. They're necked because people think of it as a rite of passage. They treat it like it's a challenge to neck it. Oh, look at me! What's this? Oh, hang on. Let me just. Where is it? I'm going to go and pull out the most high ABV whiskey I have. It's at the back of my little anniversary collection here, right? So Meg rocks up and he's like, "Let's do shots. What are we going to drink? We're going to drink something that might cause a protest in the street." Okay, cool. What's it from? It's from Israel. It's 66.5% proof. 133 proof. Oh my god, let's do shots. That's the kind of thing, right? But otherwise, shots, it can be a good shot, but it's not. If it's sweet, generally, it's not actually a good shot. It's just a very nice, pleasant, simple shot. But for the ABV, it seems wrong. Because if you want something that's really sweet as a shot, just have yourself get an apple sour or something, which is sweet and obviously sour, but it's still a simple basic beer shot or Kendallman shot. Nice and sweet and pleasant and lovely. None of the whiskies we ever try are actually good for shooting, really, but they can be shot and be considered okay in the scheme of it. It just feels slightly wrong because of the price point, and this is where, because of the taxation, the duty increases, it feels really irritating, because this is quite annoying to see that for a 12-year-old whiskey exists. People aren't going to buy Mortlach because of that price, which sucks. 3CL sample is nearly £7 though.
I don't particularly like smoked salmon. However, I'm not sure, but you might be onto something with that cherry dumpling. That kind of, I'm assuming you mean smoked salmon. That would probably work. I don't like smoked salmon, but based on the flavours that I remember of it, that could be quite a good pairing.
I'm going to agua my glass. Do forgive my minor TED talk. I just wanted to make it clear that a lot of these whiskies go down well as a shot. Doesn't mean they should be. And if you want something that goes down well because it's whiskey, you could just get something cheaper.
Yeah. But that's the thing. We're in the realm now of whiskies that probably aren't designed and sold to be shots, aren't we? Where obviously like your younger age statements, age statements, you're more, I don't want to say novelty, but the more experimental and unusual blends and cask finishes, they're there to try and entice people in and be mixed with stuff.
Yeah.
Once you start getting into the sort of solid age statements, these are really more for people that either know whiskey, think they know whiskey, or want to pretend they know whiskey.
Well, that sounds like us, doesn't it? Did not my 2-year anniversary on Omegon 2, for those who don't know, last year, so every year I bought a different country whiskey for that channel. First was Sweden, then, and then last year was milk and honey from Israel. And considering what's going on in the world right now, that felt very on the nose. Right, it's 60. It's the strongest one, 66.5. David then sees something in passing.
For more than one reason.
Yes. David then goes and obviously one ups because he's a bitch, but still, it looks like liquid blood.
It does, yeah.
It's port cask. It's bonkers.
You could distract a vampire with it. Let's be honest.
I could show that to someone and they would think I'm about to put that in an IV bag. Okay, I'm okay with that. By the way, if I'm going to die one way or the other, it's either death by whiskey or death by snoo. So I don't really care which. Ideally, both at the same time. And we will. Well, hopefully, I'll get David down again at some point in the future. We'll be able to do I've got an Israeli sample. He might be interested in another milk and honey. I bought. So a fun little story. Before we move on to the next whiskey. Agua yourself while I'm doing this. I had ordered a sample of a 3-year-old milk and honey, exclusive to the Whisky Exchange, which I've got a video screen recorded on here. I think I need to convert the file and send it to you so you can see it. When I click on the order on the Whisky Exchange, of all the orders I've made on their webpage, it's the only one that refuses to load. It literally crashes because it never got delivered to my house. No, an old gentleman found it in a park across the road in a park across the road from a leisure centre, and he delivered it to my house. I had been, and David may have seen this because on our Whisky DM, Not Worth a Cork Twitter, I DM'd them. They phoned me yesterday to talk about it. And I was like, look, I don't want compensation. I don't really give a crap. The parcel arrived. Was it whiskey? And I'm like, yeah. Did it arrive in one piece? Yes. You're going to enjoy it? Absolutely. Oh, that's all that matters. Then we're okay. He was like, yes.
I saw the DMs go through. I was like, what's this? What are we ordering now?
It was a 3CL sample of a Whisky Shop exclusive that you could only get as a sample. 3-year-old one of theirs for milk and honey. And I've got it. It's on the bar right now. And it hadn't arrived here. It arrived about, I'd say, a mile from my house. About a mile. Based on how many steps it takes me to get there, it's close to. And I honestly could not have been more annoyed because it's still not listed as delivered. And that's what they were like. I was like, look, all I want you to do is make sure your driver doesn't do that again. Because I could believe he delivered somewhere else and just dropped the parcel because he had 2 in his hand by accident, or maybe more. I could believe that. It's unlikely, but I could believe it. But I don't know how you confuse the delivery address considering the road names are completely different. And also that road doesn't have my number on that road. So don't try me. So I had a little conversation. He apologised and I was like, we're cool. As long as you make sure that driver doesn't do it again, no one else has to be impacted. Because I'm not the type.
Yeah, you've not done well with deliveries with that, because you had that. You had the one for me that was tried to be delivered to you.
What about the one that was, according to DPD, delivered someplace in North? Like yours was as well. Fam.
One was delivered to Cambridge, 80 miles from where I live.
It's a bit more than that from me, though, isn't it?
Yeah, a bit more than you, yeah.
Bitch, what are you trying to do to me? Anyway, next on the list.
This is why I like Master of Malt, because when you shop there, you can choose your courier and you can intentionally select not a shit one.
Well, the thing is, the lady who does it for our house, DPD, she knows my sister now. They know each other by name, okay? She doesn't even bother asking for ID. She's like, is your brother in it? Yeah, there you go. Okay. I haven't ordered anything for a while, though, to be fair. That was the one thing. It was a sample. Samples I've ordered a couple of. I haven't ordered any whiskey. I've been very good about this.
My sister used to get so annoyed every time she opened the door, and it's like, you got any ID? Like, what's he ordered now?
Well, mercifully, the only things I've ordered recently are dog related. So I told my sister outright that was what it was. Because it's for Wizzy Boo, and that's all that matters. I think I've got Buzzballs arriving tomorrow. And of course, because of you guys with the super chats, David will be getting some when I go and see him next. I'll obviously have to wait until I'm YouTube paid in April to buy them, so there's no guarantee I'll get them when I see him in April if I can get there in April days. At this point, I'm not entirely sure, but we'll work it out. Hopefully, though, because we want to do the Glenmorangie Part 3. Next on the list, Old Pulteney 12. Now, Old Pulteney do a standard 12, 15, 18. They also do a entry level called Harbour, which is a more recent addition because they can't make enough 12 to satisfy people, because Old Pulteney 12 is in virtually every supermarket. It is very popular. It's got a very distinctive bottle shape, as you can tell. It looks like a still. It looks great. It is a Speyside as well, single malt. It is quite delightful, actually. But there are others they've done. They've done a port cask, a white wine cask. David and I tried samples of this, and we will agree the port cask was fantastic. The white wine one was lovely, but the port one was where it was all about. And they also done a peated one that David hates.
He did not like that.
He did not.
I did not enjoy that one.
I won't deny it's not great, but it's what I do want to do a stream in the future, a revisit stream. to go back to whiskies we both, or each of us, do not like, and try and see if we can find a redeeming quality. Buzzballs, why? Well, because it was the super chat goal. I should have put it on the. I should have made it a coffee goal, because my corner shop now has them. I saw them earlier and I was like, oh my god, I could buy some and bring them to Norwich and give them to David. So if anyone wants to donate,
he did learn by last night. He learned I wasn't there. I had no idea. I can be horrible today.
Well, it's better than that, because Leona also had one. So it means 2 out of 3 have had these, and so you have to have one. So if anyone would like me to buy them directly, and then I can guarantee them, coffee's the way to go. You're welcome. I will, of course, share the love.
Peer pressure as part of the side piece agreement now.
It's not necessarily peer pressure, it's free alcohol, isn't it? Don't you like free alcohol? It's questionable alcohol, but you know what? That's a you problem. Now, according to the bottle, which as you can tell I haven't had it much, I do have the 12, 15, 18, the trilogy. It says on the front, born in the port of Wick, I can't pronounce the region, Caithness, Caithness I assume, matured over fine American oak, that's oxymoronic, robust yet smooth with a delicate hint of sea air. This was founded by James Henderson in 1826. And it's also one of the few Pulteney's that I don't have the box for. Yeah. Don't make me fon it again. What is fon?
I'm just going to have to disappear for a second. I've put the reason why in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all good. It's all good. Now, I know... So I've had the 12, 15, 18. I will admit, for the past couple of years, I have wanted to try... the 25, because the whiskey shop in Norwich actually had the 25, and it looks the business, and the box is really distinctive, but it's a price thing. So if I'll quickly pull it up and show it to you in a second. I've written Pulteney. Okay, hang on, let me just do that. There we go. Right. That's the button. That one, yes. Yeah. Right. So this is the entry level Harbour. This is what they introduced last year. American oak matured, 35 quid. This is no age statement, so they can make a flavour profile with it, yeah, and have fun with it. Hang on, Hudart, which was the peated one, is one David doesn't like. I have the box for this. I don't mind it, but it's not a great peated whiskey. The 15 is the Swerve, because it is a little bit spicier than the standard one. Spanish oak, that's it. Yeah. Then you get to the 18, and it's back to the 12, but far more refined. It's just delightful, really smooth, really nice. This is the 25, and no, it does not cost that much. Seriously. The box, basically, to open this, you basically pop the poppers on the side here. You pop them and lift the top off. In the whiskey shop, they've had this in there for years, and I kind of want it. I really do, because it just looks the business. That's a proper show-off bottle as well. And I also want to try it because it's slightly different, with Spanish oak butts, which held Oloroso sherry. Yeah. I like the flavour profile as well. It's nice, it's spicy, it's rich. It's got the right wood. Giggity. You know, it's good. Hang on, is that the one I've got? No, that's the 25 but more. Sorry, I got distracted. But yes, I would admit I've been interested by that. But we have Old Pulteney just here. I'll drag that here. This is the standard box. Another thing, the bottle is distinctive, but so is the box, because inside the top here there are little catches. The top clicks in to an extent. Yeah, it's quite nice. Also, $33.49 for the 12. Okay, 1 second. Let me just one more. The 12-year-old currently costs £33.49. This is where you should start with Old Pulteney. Their entry level, $34.75. Bitch, no one's paying that much for this when you can get the 12. Also, it only has 1 review and it's 1 star. Excited to try this, as the 12 was a nice, briny, salty twang that melds with the caramel and other elements of the whiskey. Tried to get into this, but it's just poor. No defined taste, no salt, not much of anything. It to me tastes like the single malt equivalent of muddy coffee. So, caffeine free. Put your money somewhere else, anywhere else. One of the most disappointing single malts I've tried in over 15 years of drinking them. Now I think that this exists. Ooh, that looks nice. open that into another tab. I think what's that? Tamnavulin. Hello. Now, I think the reason this one exists is because of the rise of single malts being used in cocktails, being used in mixers. And I think that's the point of Harbour. Welcome back. Now, I think that's why Harbour exists, why the box isn't as fancy. It's just a very standard whiskey, whereas the 25, I, no lie, have looked at that and gone, I could happily buy this. And it's been in the whiskey shop 2 years in a row. I've looked at it and gone, I could buy that right now. I actually would consider it. I'm not even joking. Because just, not for 500 though, but in the future I would be tempted. Because it is just such a, yeah, I'm taking that home kind of bottle. But anyway, yes, Old Pulteney 2012 has the winner of 6 Spirit Awards. It has won a bronze in 2019. Most recent wins a silver in 2022. It did win a gold in 2019. It is let's say, face it here, a reasonably successful whiskey and incredibly popular in supermarkets. I've seen it in Sainsbury's and Tesco. I've seen it in co-ops sometimes, but they tend to stick to like the ones you get in pubs. And their own brands as well, because the co-op shit. I'll call them that happily until I'm blue in the face. Yeah, because they got rid of the club card thing. So
I was going to say, is this anything to do with all those points you had?
No, the fact I had to get rid of them so quickly. I yawn. Sorry, I had to get rid of. Go figure. I have to say something and I yawn. It was a bit of a pain in the ass. Right, so anyway, Old Pulteney 12. I'm going to see if I can get a decent pop on this. Ooh! Did you hear it?
So mine is a brand new bottle. Ooh. So I have just defoiled it. I'll see what pop I get, since this has never been opened.
A virgin bottle, everyone.
There goes the foil.
I heard.
Oh! That was enthusiastic.
I didn't hear it. I heard all your previous ones we've heard, not that one. Not the one that was definitively. Please do.
Wasn't as good the second time, but
no. All I heard was a thud against the microphone. That's all I heard.
Oh dear. Okay, so Old Pulteney fails on the pop test then.
Well, it didn't fail because it got it on my end at least. So it got a pop. Mine has been open because we've used it before. I say we. I have. I don't know if we have as a stream. I think Who Dart has. I don't know if my 12 has been used, but I know you had one glass out of it. Maybe 2 actually, based on where the top of that one is in the image is full, and where mine is down to the second bubble on the neck. Yes.
Mine, after pouring my single, is literally at the bottom of the first bulge.
Sorry. We have a
new donation from Snuckles.
Snuckles, thank you so much for the donation. I'll make sure tomorrow, Snuckles, that I will acquire a buzzball to make sure David has a buzzball when I go to Norwich next, because I'm all about giving, and I'm happy to share the love with the David Snuckles. According to
thank you very much, Knuckles, or not, as the case may be, depending on what the buzzball is and whether I like
it. You won't. But
in which case, damn you, Knuckles.
You might want to move back slightly. I can hear myself back. Right, so on the nose, yes, I have a little sip first because I'm that guy. It says here, honeycomb vanilla tablet. I don't know what that is. Is that you put in your washing? What? Soft sawdust oakiness and oat cake. No, that does not mean this is a whiskey for dipping.
So I haven't got the oat cakes anyway, so I don't eat those.
Why not?
So I have some weird. So I got in Tesco the other day some weird Indian fenugreek meffy biscuits. They're like curry flavoured biscuits.
You had my attention, then you were speaking a language that sounded like it was made up. I thought you were talking Welsh for a second. Honestly, I can't be asked. Je ne comprends pas, buddy. Okay. What do you think about the nose on this?
So I wouldn't say I can get any of what they list on there, to be honest.
That's fair. That's fair. Nothing wrong with that.
It's quite light. It is sweet, but I don't know what it is.
Well, they do like to latch on with this with Old Pulteney. It has the Speyside traditional sort of notes, but it also latches onto the maritime aspect and it mentions salinity, coastal notes. It's very time. They call it maritime elements.
They do, yeah.
I call it that on the bottle as well. On the box, sorry. It's just that's it. And hi, Amanda. Hope you're well. You're nice and early. We're on whiskey 4 number 5 or 5 even. Whiskey 4 or 5, yes. Old Pulteney. We have one left after, and it's going to be a kick in the teeth for Leona. We'll get to that soon. No spoilers. So this is hang on. This is listed as a Highland whiskey, by the way. So we've had 2 Highlands, a Speyside, and what was the other one? No, 2 Highlands and Speyside and Island.
2 Speysides.
Oh no, Island, 2 Highlands.
No, sorry, 2 Highlands, an island, and a Speyside.
Yeah, Island, yes.
Island, yeah.
Just say Island. Screw it. I double checked the runtime and I'm quite late. Yeah, you're early. You're fine.
But no Irish.
Vanilla, sugar, and buttery notes. Yeah, it's definitely got that. I think it's got a bit of vanilla in there. Vanilla. It's quite sweet, which is, I'd say, for what we consider. I swore Pulteney was a Speyside, but I don't have the box to hand. I thought it was.
I do. Hang on, if I can reach it.
I thought it was a Speyside, but you know what? If I'm
wrong.
Good.
My tab just crashed. Thank you, Firefox. Just what I wanted.
That's definitely what you wanted.
Restore tab. Box. Ooh, it's over there. Right.
Technical issues, everyone. So it's actually far north of the Scottish Highlands, known for its maritime character.
Yeah,
so
distilled by the sea.
I've googled it just to get the information. I'll even put it on the screen for those who are interested. Here it is, maritime malt. The standard age statements are 12, 15, 18 and 25. They do have a 21, but it's very rarely made. But yeah, it's a Highland, which is totally fine. Did it pop up? It did. Okay, cool. Anyway, so it is your turn to do 12 seconds in your gob. Welcome. You get on it. Get it in. Yeah.
Okay, I can cope with that. Right.
I'm going to go through reviews quickly for a second.
Okay.
The most recent review: an acquired taste, initial aroma of brandy, tasted of salted chocolate, thin mouthfeel, short finish, interesting but not really my cup of whiskey. From a dude in South Africa. Fair enough. That's from 24 days ago though. 26 quid in Tesco Morrison's. That's not bad. If you can get it that price in supermarkets. Master Malt have marked it up slightly, but I get that. That's part of the game. Have you done your 12 seconds?
Ooh, that's interesting.
Did it FFS?
So, thin mouthfeel, that person, I can understand that. There's not a lot of body to it, but actually, initially you don't get a lot. I will say, if you give it 3, 4, 5 seconds, you don't get a lot. It does then start to develop.
Okay.
But what's where are the tasting notes? I want to see if it's. Yeah. So, before I read the tasting notes, I was going to say chocolate and pepper.
Yeah.
And palate is chocolate, peanuts,
and white pepper,
mint, citrus, maritime elements, and pepper.
So the finish, I kind of get the maritime feel because there's something salty there. Yeah, there's something slightly salty, but I don't know if I would ever notice that with lemon. If lemon was more pronounced, I wouldn't notice anyway.
No, I wouldn't say I got any lemon. Maybe a little bit of the brininess at the end, like down on the finish. But yeah, it's more back of the mouth. There's not a lot at the front.
Agreed. It is quite nice though. I will admit. Of the ones you've had so far, out of curiosity, what was your favourite one?
I think the Mortlach so far. I think the Highland Park I've had quite a lot, so I know that one. The Far Class I think was a bit different, so I'm not sure it kind of fully fits in some ways with what we're doing with the general 12-year-olds. But it's certainly a good whiskey. This one's actually very nice, given that I didn't like the Who Dart. Was it the Who Dart? It was the Who Dart.
Who Dart, yes. Who Dart, yes.
Yeah. I was a bit apprehensive of what this one would be like, but I didn't remember I'd had it at yours, so I must have liked it enough because you gave me the bottle.
I did, didn't I? Yeah, because I had extras.
Yeah.
I've given you... Whenever I have an extra, I usually give it to you.
Yeah, but no, this one is very... I would say the Mortlach has been my favourite based on the fact I couldn't remember it from before, and actually it was really good, and it was a little bit different, but it was something about it just stood out. But then this and the Highland Park are probably on a par, I think.
So I think you have a point. The Glenfarclas class, because of its limited release, it's hard to compare it to the others. You could only really compare it if you had the standard Farclas. So the Farclas 12 has to sit removed. So it's top and bottom of its own chart. The Highland Park Old Pulteney and the Mortlach, I prefer the Old Pulteney to the Mortlach just. It's not to say the Highland Park's bad. I do think, though, the sharpness of it being what it is, it's very much an island whiskey, but because the other two have a bit more sweetness, I can enjoy them a bit differently. And I should say, the reason I've asked you now is because you can't compare these to Nika, because Nika's a blend.
Yes.
And so I wanted to make it, because then we can sort of work it out ourselves afterwards, which one do you prefer the most at the end. Sure. But it's always fair to point out that what's last is not the same as these for a reason. Actually, I'm sorry.
What would be interesting at some point would be for us to try my Highland Park 12 and your Highland Park 12. Now, I know that sounds stupid because they're the same.
It does sound stupid, yes.
But yours has been opened tonight.
Oh,
Mine
God,
has been opened for years.
Don't forget that we've done it with the Glenmorangie 15 Capel Estate, yours and mine.
Yeah.
Mine was brand new on the night, and we'd opened it, and it was a different finish anyway, compared to yours that tasted like cookies and cream.
It'd be interesting to see how the age and the oxidation has changed mine compared to yours.
Like the Johnny Walker Gold Label Centenary, mine just tasted like liquid toffee towards the end.
Yeah.
Then I refilled it, and it's like, well, is it the same whiskey? No, but the essence of the origin is still there, and that oxidized blend is
like
still
sourdough.
Basically, it is, yes. If there's
the mother dough, the mother whiskey.
If a resident German wants to correct us now, by all means do so. But mercifully, I'm 4 drinks in. I don't care.
But it's just like I thought, because we've had the same whiskies tonight.
Yeah.
The Farclas is probably by and large the same. It's come from an empty or half empty bottle.
It's not just that.
The Mortlach
it came from a sample that I poured into a dram for you, so it can't be any different.
No, but the Mortlach we both have a pretty much full bottle of.
Mine was unopened, so yes.
Yeah, mine was only opened once. The Old Pulteney I've opened just now, and yours has only been opened once or twice.
Yeah, it's
the Highland Park is the one that differs in the fact that yours has been opened tonight, and mine has been probably 5 or 6 years.
That's a fair point. That is actually a fair point, and I would love to find out. Of course, there's always a chance when I come to yours at some point, hopefully next month, we'll be able to test this. I'm all in favour of that.
Just so I thought, because we noticed obviously like the Downwell Portwood that improved after a year, well not quite a year, of
several months.
It being open.
Yeah, it was. Well, it might have just required us to remove the weird water level at the top. It's separated because of gravities. Apparently, port's too heavy for it. It's still rubbish. Right, so you did.
Don't use that as your cheese port course. It says port cast, but don't believe it.
Milk and honey. Fortified wine cask, which is technically, well, it is port essentially. I highly recommend that.
English 15.
No, that's a sherry cask. The 16, they did a 16 port cask.
Oh, I thought the one you had was the port cask.
Mine's the demi sherry cask one, the demi something. I can't pronounce it.
Hello, Leona. Welcome home.
I should have. To be fair, I should just let that go and not correct you because I knew what you meant because it was a 16 port cask. Explicitly, and that was the one I found on the website that listed it as 50 quid for a bottle, and it was like, that's not what it is. The image is the wrong one.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
Do you remember that? It was on an Irish website.
It's £50 a bottle. Is this right? We're like, we don't think so. It's like, shall we order it?
That'd be like ordering a bottle of Johnny Walker Green, thinking you're getting the OG version, only to get the wrong version.
Yes.
But no one does that, do they?
Yeah, no one does that based on the image of the bottle and the percentage of the ABV, and
That's
all
not
being
false
the old version.
That's like selling a bottle of whiskey you don't have. No one does that, do they? No.
Bottle club.
Bottle club, yeah. Who are they? Welcome back, Leona. So, do you think this is a good sipping whiskey, Pulteney, or a shooting whiskey, or a drinking whiskey?
Hang on. YOLO.
David can go first, and I do think the sweetness of this whiskey is more pronounced. Perhaps a little bit more versatile, slightly more than the Mortlach, but not by much. I would say for money-wise, this is better value for money, because this only costs $33.49. The Mortlach 12 costs like freaking. Oh, where is it? It cost. Oh, not this one. Where is it?
70 roughly.
I've lost it already. I'm
68 something or 71. Just call it 70.
68, 75. It's more than double. Go. Yeah. I'm
yeah.
not. My Mortlach. I love the Mortlach. I love the bottle design. The taste of it is great. But if you're gonna buy this or the Pulteney, not that Pulteney. Jesus Christ, what am I doing? This Pulteney, the 12, right? You're gonna buy the 12 because the Pulteney 12 because you can get two for the price of one. You know. That's not a bad thing. This, I think, the Mortlach 12 is definitely for people who are more collector types, because this is not something you're going to see in a supermarket anytime soon. But that bottle is gorgeous. Pulteney is unique as well in bottle and box, and I think that also helps it. But I think what also helps it is it's got the right amount of sweetness, which is somewhat strange for a Highland. Yeah. To see all that sweetness. Yeah.
Yeah. And yes, it shoots well as well. It's a yes for everything, which is good. Quite nice.
Well, YOLO swag fam.
And yeah, as we referenced earlier, for those of you who aren't familiar with the whiskey making process, the old Pulteney bottle does look very much like still that is used for making whiskey.
Yeah.
It has the large section at the bottom and the bulbous bits as it goes up the funnel to help condense and it's not the exact terminology, but basically it condenses it so it goes back and reintegrates, then condenses again. And
I'll put the picture back on the screen. It looks like the how they temperature gauge as well. Put a little portal on the side.
Oh yeah, little portcullis on the side and look in. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know. It's
when it's dial up or down.
Yeah. That's a remarkable thermometer. That shoots beautifully. Again, it really is close though between that and Mortlach, but I think it really is because these two, they do good whiskey. That's not to say Highland Park's bad, but I do think Highland Park isn't as good in this respect.
No, I think having seen the price, actually I didn't realise that was, I don't mean this badly, that cheap.
Yeah, I know.
Value
right?
for money, this is better than everything else.
Oh yeah, 100%.
This is as good as, or virtually as good as, what I think is the best, which is the Mortlach. I think it's better than the Highland Park, and it is half the price.
That tells you how much more work they have to put into it, that they're charging more than double for it. And that's not a bad thing. It tells me you're working with some inferior quality, that you're having to work harder to make it as good as quality, right? That's not a dig. Yeah, it's just again.
Mortlach, it's not like Mortlach are charging for the net. It's not a Macallan. You know, it's not like they're paying a premium for it being a Macallan.
Well, let's give it some perspective, shall we? So a Macallan, a Pulteney 25 costs on the Master Malt £500, and Whisky Shop is £450. I know this for a fact, right? I want this bottle. I'm not even joking, right? A Bunnahabhain 25 is about £450, same as this. Talisker 25 is £370. How much is a Macallan 25 Sherry Cask 2023 edition? Guess.
£4,250.
You actually double the price. It's £2,100. But still,
I over Macallaned it.
You over Macallaned. It's still £2,000. So it's more than 4 times the price of Pulteney 25. But then we know from the 12 we're getting quality. I still want the Pulteney 25. If I could save the money for it, I would buy it. If only to bosh it. But still, it's that thing of what you're paying for, right? Bunnahabhain 479, Balblair 500, Kalila's 500, there are some really there are other 25s I was looking at. Singleton 25's 330. The Singleton 25 is delightful. We've had that a few times.
Yeah, that's good.
It is. Yeah, and I think it's important that. Oh, that looks delightful.
So how much more? How many Boonhaven 30s can you get from a Cullen 25?
3.5.
That's mad, isn't it?
I worked that out quickly in my head. Don't you worry, I got you, bro.
that's mad, isn't it? That it's that
it
much
is.
more.
I know.
What was a Glenfarclas Class 25? Because the Glenfarclas Classes are relatively expensive, aren't they?
I'll pull it up for you. Glenfarclas Class 25. A Master of Malt costs £250. You could get 9 bottles.
300 on the whiskey shop,
or you can get 7 of them. If you get 7 25-year-old gift sets that come with 2 glasses and 3 glasses and a jug. I will buy the gift set 7 times because I want shitloads of glasses and water jugs. Why? Because yes. Okay.
Could you imagine your entire bar is just Glenfarclas glasses?
Look at this though. It's a warehouse box. 3 glasses and a jug.
Send them a photo. Could you imagine if you did that and sent them a photo? Be like, yo, can we get a sponsorship now?
Okay, a Farclas 24, because of how limited it is, it comes in a beautiful mahogany-looking box, right? It's a canter, £510. I'd rather have 4 of these than a Macallan 25. Okay, I will admit, so while I will willingly, happily consume cheaper whiskies, 100%, I will admit, because of what we do here, I have developed, and certainly through my boshing over Januaries, especially, well, mostly Januaries, and maybe.
Hang on. A Glenfarclas 40-year-old is only £1,275.
I would rather buy that. Okay, I'd buy 2 of those if I had 2,100. Oh, I'd go over, obviously, but I went over last time. But no, what I mean is, while I will happily drink these kind of drinks, I don't generally go out my way to buy them anymore because I have developed a slightly expensive taste with the things I've bought. Yeah? And that's not me trying to be a snob or anything. Of course not. I've just gotten very lucky that I could buy them. I'm not going to buy. I'm never going to buy another Bunnahabhain 30. So the one I have is it, and I'm going to savour it. When it's finished, I'm going to cry and have a funeral for it. It might become an entire live stream of me burying the bugger. All right? Because it seems only fitting. Okay. Maybe take the bottle back to Isla and to Bunnahabhain and go, please take this to its final resting place. And watch as they look at me like, the fuck is wrong with this guy? Anyway. We could sit here all night talking about these delightful 25s. Oh, they look good though. But we do need to move on to the final whiskey of the stream. By the way, just realised not a single image was on the screen for you guys, and I was talking, so I'm going to quickly just show you. Here's the Farclas gift set
really
I was talking about.
I tell you what, this YouTube is really biased. It really likes the Nika 12, doesn't it?
I like that I wasn't pressing any button that was Nika 12, and it was Downmore showing it. So this is the gift set: 3 glasses and a jug, and the 25-year-old whiskey for $279. I could buy that in a few weeks' time. I would rather buy that. The Farclas 24, which is a very nice box, as you can see here on the screen. Just look at that; it's gorge. That was some random Highlander. I just saw it, looked nice. But Old Pulteney 25.
That 25 with the little wooden cabinet thing does look awesome.
That's what they do with the 25, the 30-year-old.
24, yeah.
And it just looks the part. That's the point of it. I like the look.
See, that looks like those Macallan special release ones in the wooden box that are like 500.
Well, that's no.
£5,000.
The wooden box one is 2,100. They've got the 25 Macallan in the whiskey shop, and when we were in there in January, I was half tempted to just buy that. I thought, well, I've got the Diageo, so I can't commit. It also, if I ever threw down $2,000 on a bottle at that point, no, because Meg needs to start thinking about a mortgage in the future.
Yeah.
But no, I'll never own a $2,000 bottle. But if I ever bought the standard 25 is $249 or $250. For £30 more, you get 3 glasses and a water jug. Buy this. Anyway, on to the final whiskey.
There's your consumer advice for the evening.
You're welcome. We are going to go to the final whiskey of the evening, which is this, the Nika 12. Have you aguaed your glass?
The irony is, this is not going to go on the screen now, is it? It's on the screen all bloody night.
No, I did.
But we don't want it.
I manually clicked it to make sure it did, as opposed to the hotkey, because I was sick of it doing as it wanted. So this is Nika 12. This is Japanese. This is a whiskey I only knew about because of David. Now, when I hit 100,000 on my main channel, thank you to everyone that subscribed. If you could do me a solid and do it for Omegon 2 or here, that'd be great, because more than one play button, that would be king. I compiled a list of whiskies that I thought would be a banger to have for hitting 100,000 as a celebration. I didn't have much of a collection back then, and I sent the collection, I put it on Discord actually and showed to David, and he went through them. He removed some of the obvious ones, which sucked, because I mean Glenlivet 18 was there, it was a banger. And he found some options. One was Octomore, because of the octo part. He was like, oh, that could work. But then he stumbled across this one, and he told me that this one might go up in value because it's Japanese. Now, I did buy a bottle. It came in a box, giggity, and a nice tight Japanese box, giggity, and the box sits on a shelf in my bedroom with my play button. For Christmas a year later, my sister had bought me this one, the one you see on the screen, because I didn't have an open bottle. Now, I had ordered a sample, and I've got the sample bottle still. That's how I knew what it tasted like, so I'd never had it before. Me, David, and my brother-in-law tried it after a Dragon Force gig, where we also tried a Hibiki sample as well, I believe.
Yeah,
and
12, of course, yeah.
Yep. And David did buy a 50cl of that, and it's gone massively in value. My bottles, gets that in a second, have gone up in value as well. Now, I paid just over, I think, £105 for this bottle. Well, not the one on the screen, the one I, for 100,000 on YouTube, got. And I've never opened it. For Christmas, my sister got me another bottle, which I have in my hand, which is, as you can see, half empty. It's very well received. And we've thoroughly enjoyed it. Last year, beginning of the year, I believe, actually, I entered a raffle on a random website from part of the Whisky Exchange, and I won a bottle of Nika 12. I didn't know I'd won until I got the email. Not long after, I'd won a bottle of Singleton 21 from the Whisky Shop, which was just, honestly, it was the greatest month of my life. I know it was 2 years ago. 2 years, because I bought...
2 years now,
yeah. 25 was last year's Singleton. It was 2 years ago I won this. I entered a raffle, I won it. I got the email, and I was like, hang on, wait. I went and found the live stream, watched it back, and realised I'd won a raffle and won this. And I was like, holy crap. I told my sisters, told David, and like, nah, and I sent the link. It arrived without a box, so I ordered a box, and it came with a bottle, which I turned into a bottle light. So I have 2 bottles unopened of this, and they're worth about £220 now. So their value's doubled, or they're technically tripled, because the one I won I haven't paid for, and I'm not opening it because I won it. But we have this regardless, and it's because of David I have it. And he believed it would go up in value. He was right. Nowhere near as much as his Hibiki 12, but still, it's going up nicely. The bottle is unique. The only other bottle similar to this is Nika Tailored, which I don't have. And it's not because I don't want it. I would love it. I just don't have it. But it's very distinctive. It's very big stopper. Short cork. Hang on. That sounded wrong. Short cork. Short cork. And, as you can tell, we've had a measure of this. Again, once this bottle runs out, I'll never have another bottle of it. I'm not going to, I'm not going to drink any more of it. I'm not going to open the 2 bottles I've got, because one was an award for getting to 100,000 on YouTube. It took months for me to get my play buttons. That was the only award I had. And the second one...
It did take a really long time for your play buttons to turn up, didn't it?
It did, yes. Lockdowns really put paid to my plans to celebrate. I wanted to go to that Waffle House. I never got to go, and it made me really upset.
I'll have to do that next. We need to do a list of the restaurant, because we need to go Waffle House and Wagamama's.
The waffle place was Casper's.
Well, we'd go to the Waffle House. That's good enough.
I really just wanted to go there. I wanted to go there with my family and just take them out for a day, but it couldn't be done, and that sucked because I wanted to celebrate and I never got to. In fact, the only person that, because of what happened that time, that I got my dad took a photo of it. He was like, "What is this?" I showed it, and he was like, "Can I take a photo of that?" I was like, "Yeah." He got to show it to people, and he's like, "Oh, my son got one of these. That's cool." but no, I never really got to celebrate that, and that sucks. It's one of the very few times I ever wanted to celebrate something, and I never got to. And Chubby Dumpling, I have a Hibiki 21 year that's been hanging out now half a year. If you want to sell it, David will give you a tenner and a Snickers bar for it.
Yes, Dave will have that. That will happily form part of my collection.
Can David be in your will? Hi, Aaron, hope you're well. And he's talking about short corks. Yes, I am. But no. So, compared to the other ones, you'll notice this one. Yeah, this is where I can't say I'm not a bit more of an expensive bitch. And it's not because I'm not. It's just because this is an expensive whiskey now, and that's Nikka's thing. They never really intended for it to be as popular as it was, and it's really hard to find now. I mean, you found it on the whiskey shop, yes, but it's discontinued. If I Google Nikka 12, I'll quickly pull up. I'll also pull it up so people can see. Oh, images have come up, haven't they? No, they haven't. Good. Nikka 12. Right. The Whiskey Exchange have it on their website for 175 at the moment, but I doubt they have many left, and I doubt it will come with a box. And it's from two distilleries, Yoichi and Miyajihyo. I butchered the pronunciation. I'm really sorry. I'll show you though if you're interested. There we go. Right, so here is the Whiskey Exchange. It's 175. I didn't pay that. I paid 105. So this is already a £70 profit. But this, I know for a fact, these guys, because I won the raffle through them, does not do a box. The box is so important. Without it, it's worth nothing. But yeah, you see here, Tailored is there as well. But this is the whiskey, the Master of Malt. It looks king. Of all the bottles we got tonight, this is probably the best looking one.
Oh yeah.
But it can't be.
The only thing that could make it better would be the Samurai top.
Actually, I can pull that one up. This one, Nikka Gold and Samurai Edition, £250. I will admit, I would be tempted. When my channel Omegon 2 turns 3, I was trying to find a 3-year-old whiskey on purpose, but to get another Nikka whiskey would be hilarious, especially that one. But I'm not going to raise $250 on a stream on a channel that's dead, please. No dice, Jack. The will is fine. Oh, that's all right then. At least you can go in your will. David, you're in. Get in there, son. This has 4-star review, 43%. It's a blended whiskey, and that's important because all the others are in single malts. Blends mean you're building to a profile. So somebody has sat there, and the tasting notes are what they've looked for, and we're going to go through those in a moment. So I'm going to do the pot. So Leona, hope you're listening. What David is about to consume is a sample I had originally put into the box for the Fugler that I sent you. Now, originally you were going to get that sample, but I realised with all the effort I put in to get that box to you, I didn't want to risk someone opening the box and finding the sample. Otherwise, I would have sent it to you and you'd have a sample of Nikka 12. So David's about to have something intended for you to swallow.
Which has been in the Fugler's arse.
Basically. But she still would have swallowed it because it came from me. Oh! Hang on. Okay, so the cork on this is not the biggest. The stopper on this is monstrous, but the cork is not. So the opening for this...
really overly top heavy, isn't it?
Right, to give this some context...
It's like someone that's never done leg day in their life.
To give... you then. To give this some context, I could stick my entire index finger into the bottle, right, and not touch the sides. Like, literally. It's so wide. It's a big cavern. It's definitely a 2-finger job. Oh, hello. Bye, cork. Okay. Where's that gone? Oh, jeez, I've lost.
While Meg gets us cancelled for sexual innuendo.
Innuendo. So,
or in the owner's case, not in her endo.
Sorry. No, I'm going to pour a glass. Nice measure. There we go. Right, so I know this is a good whiskey because, again, half the bottle is gone. We know it's good. We've sent it, you know.
Yeah, the reason why we went with this, and obviously looking at why it's going up in value, is because Japanese whiskey, for one thing, you'll notice is spelled without an E, because they make it the correct way.
Yeah, so they honour the Scottish way, which is important.
Yeah. So they make it the same way as the Scottish, so it can be classified as the same.
Yeah.
Although there are now rules about Japanese whiskey being Japanese whiskey, which probably just would fall foul of these days. But
I think another thing of importance is how Japan is a country built on tradition, and they respect and honour it. So when they take something from someone else to make their own version, they respect where it comes from, the culture. They're incredibly respectful. And that's so important. The thing that makes this very unique is there aren't many Scottish whiskies that are blends unless they're sold either on a tap in a bar, which are shite, or they're Johnny Walker. Go on. Sorry, I just want to insert that.
No, that's right. But the other thing with it is that these were made at a time when Japanese whiskey wasn't popular.
Oh boy, that changed.
Now, the problem with that is they became very, very popular when they spread. So obviously they hadn't been made to cope with a world market.
Yeah, so this was
they've been made to cope with the Japanese market and maybe local sort of Asian markets.
There are only
there wasn't enough of it to cope with the demand that suddenly came when people suddenly realised, oh, hang on, wait, this is really good.
There were
they ran out, which is why Hibiki 12 you can't get, Nika 12 is running out.
But you can.
A lot of these.
Nika 12 has run out essentially. But the Hakushu and Yamazaki, they made standard 12s now because they knew they had to. But they have made limited. They did have limited versions. Then they went and made standards for them. But they're owned by Suntory, if memory serves.
Yeah, they initially did their initial ones with the Distillers Reserve, so they did to get away from doing the age statement ones. I've got both of them in the cabinet behind me.
Yeah, you do. The 12 Yamazaki, I will admit, I was tempted to get in Jan, but then I was like, it's either that or I could get an Aston Martin Bowmore 21. I guess I'll get the Aston Martin. What a shame. But the thing with the Japanese whiskey, they didn't know. Hibiki, I mean, come on. You've tried some of the bigger ones as well. You know damn well how good they are.
I've had the 17 and the 21, and they are very, 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 very nice.
You've had the 12 as well, because you've had the sample.
And I have the sample, and I have a bottle of the 12. I actually had the 12 for the first time at a bar in Norwich. I went out with some the boat trip people. And we were in Bedfords, as it was then. That's all it's called now. And I was like, that looks interesting, I'll have that. Then had a bill for £16. I was like, what?
That's basically like buying an alcohol pop in London.
but they served it was a big round tumbler glass, and it had one of those spherical ice balls in it.
Oh, they cut the ice very uniquely for that. In Japan, I've seen videos of
half that money was the ice, but
absolutely.
That was the first time I had it, and that was lovely.
So
and I ended up having another one and sharing it with a couple of people. I was like, try this. Oh wait, hang on, I've run out. I need some more.
Question for David: how much is your Hibiki worth right now, and how big is the bottle? In reverse order, please.
It's only the 50 cl because I'm not made of money.
Before he says that, he did have a fairly good bonus to buy this, and I was so happy for him when he bought it. But at the same time, he genuinely could not have afforded the full bottle.
No. So I bought it for under £300.
Yep.
And I will admit it was expensive. It was just under £300.
One of your most expensive.
Yeah. So on Master of Malt, you can get it for £500. That is a pre-owned one from a private collection. Limited stock. To buy one that is new, you're looking at £750 to £800.
Yeah. That is a big investment return. That's like the percentage return is similar to my Talisker Game of Thrones. It's a big chunk. Much like the Nika's still almost double in some places, which is great. I have no intent. Just to be clear though, I have no intention of selling these. I really don't. My intention would be to leave them to somebody to sell when I die, which will never happen because I'm going to live forever. Hello, Linlam. Hope you're well, and welcome back. Even sorry. I have one of those brass press ice pour makers. I'd love to get one of those. I don't really do ice much, but I think it'd be nice to have something like that. I've seen some videos, I'm sure many of you have seen them, with a Japanese guy pulls out a Tonto and he cuts it into a diamond and puts it in a glass that he's spun on the spot. And I have one of those Japanese glasses. I have one of those. The one with the ridges that go vertically. My brother-in-law gave it to me, and it's very Japanese in sort of traditional style.
Yeah.
I have one. And it's lovely.
If I finished my bottle of Hibiki Harmony, I could essentially make a really wide glass out of that.
See, I like Hibiki Harmony. It's good. It's better than the other entries, but it's very pricey. Nika from the Barrel, I think, is superior because of cost and versatility. I think that Hibiki had done themselves dirty with the Harmony limited edition bottle, because that limited edition bottle, because the art on it alone is worth like 5-6 times more than what Hibiki Harmony is. It's like, I'm not paying £550 for a bottle design only for a liquid that tastes like it's only worth 60 quid. Flowers. You are basically paying for that when the liquid inside is worth about 60 quid. You are buying a decanter. I would rather buy one that's custom engraved. I've got plenty of decanters, but I'd rather buy one from like the English Whisky Company at that point. Anyway, have a sniff test and tell me what you think. I'll pull up the tasting notes for those who are interested. Dave's going to give a little sniffy sniff, and I'll tell him what it says. Do you enjoy the smell?
Very smooth.
Yeah.
On the nose already, you can tell.
Yep. So it says on the nose, butterscotch, poached pears, toffee apples, nougat, and nutmeg. Yes, I know.
So I was going to say, like caramel or toffee.
I got
and
pear.
Some form of fruit.
I got pear. I don't really do pear, but pear is the pronounced flavour for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you've said pear. Yes, that is what it is. But I don't eat pears.
Nor do I. So I know what it is. So. It's one of those fruits I've never. I like pear drops. I don't like pears. It's weird. I like pear drops. It reminds me of the smell of poly cement. And I like glue. Giggity. Yes. Giggity. It's the opposite of lube, okay? Keeps everyone together.
That's interesting. So, just looking, I'm on the Master Malt page. Nika from the Barrel is still £45.
Nika from the Barrel
that's basically never changed price. That hasn't gone up at all.
And if anyone wants to get into whiskey and they want something strong but delicious, I will always tell you, go with the 50cl because you don't get a 70 anyway. Nika from the Barrel, buy it as a set. I had it with 2 glasses. I only have 1 now because I broke the other. It came with a bottle pourer as well, though. I've got 2 bottles. I won a bottle in a raffle as well. Yes, I've won a bottle of Nika, 2 bottles of Nika now technically. From the Barrel bottle is just good. It's nice and it's almost it's cuboid in shape. It's great. It really is. It's just a good whiskey, and you can't go wrong with it. Again, it's not when we did our tiers and what we put in our top 10 whiskies that must be in the bar, and like 9 were standards and 1 was a swerve. Nika from the Barrel was there for me. My swerve was obviously something a bit more ostentatious. David then went, "Yeah, but I'm a bit more expensive than you." Oh, how times have changed. Okay, so I'll give a sip of this. Yeah, that's very sweet. Very there's a little bit of smoke, but not much. But it's nice and smooth and fruity, and it's not too fruity, but it's got a floral aspect as well, because it's very prominent in Japanese whiskies anyway. But it's quite nice. It's a blend as well, so you know they're building towards certain flavours. Yeah, no, definitely, it's definitely got a very smooth quality to it. There is that smoke towards the back of the palate, which is very nice. It is very gentle. Hi Rex, hope you're well today. Hope everyone that joins is having a marvellous day. Do tell us how you've been, what you've been up to perhaps. For those who are interested, before we continue, I've been spending the entire day with my dear darling Plumpadump, Pwampy, Wizzywoo, Lizzie, Lady Plumplesworth, the first and only, and playing Dawn of War with a Tilly sat on top of her, and she was not happy. Wizzy, that is. Tilly didn't seem to give a shit. Shocker. Cat, I know. I was going to say, Tilly is cat. Air level equals 0. Now, before David says anything else, I don't want to do 12 seconds of this. And I don't know why. I just feel a natural aversion to doing it. I don't know why. So I'm going to ask if you'd like to do it. Alright, you've twisted my arm. I know, right? I really have. I don't know what it is, but this is one of the very few whiskies where I genuinely don't want to be sat there just doing that, because it feels, I don't know, something about it doesn't feel right to me. I do apologise, but I quite like this whiskey. I don't want to be fiddle-faddling experimenting with it for some reason. Although, to be fair, that is a sample derived from my bottle, which is a double, technically, so I think David's having a double this evening. And I don't... Yeah, it's a 3 CLs I've got, so... You got a double, yeah. Have you poured the whole thing in? Yeah. Oh, yeah, you haven't a double, then you're fine.
Right, I shall load the timer, and away we go.
Very well. I'm covered in more white powder than Al Pacino at the end of Scarface. Nice! Can I snort you, Bry? I mean, you paid me. Can I snort you good? I'm very glad you're covered. Do we cut you now with a razor blade? Is the Japanese variation Japanese pear? I wouldn't know. I've never had a Japanese pear. But I have heard good things about Japanese food in general, although their research boats do slightly irk me still. David, 12 seconds, what do you think?
So, there's a lot more on the finish when you do it that way.
Yeah.
There's a tingle of like heat or spice.
Yeah.
It's quite long. There's I would say chocolatey bitterness. It's like that kind of dark chocolateness.
Yeah.
But it's still it's weird. It managed to be bitter and sweet at the same time.
So it does say on the finish.
So smooth.
Spicy, fruity.
So smooth.
Decent length, a little cocoa. Yes, I said that one on purpose. Bry is covered in white powder, by the way, as opposed to white goo. So at least he doesn't have to worry. He's not to worry about meaty man jam, so that's all right. No, this is I won't do the 12 seconds on this one. Again, it's something strange. I just can't. I think it's because there's a sentimental aspect for me personally. I feel like it feels wrong.
Well, that's fine because that means you have to do the shot then, don't you?
Well, we dig our own holes, don't we now? I'll get to that in a minute. Don't you worry.
I can still taste that.
Well, it's so now I'm going to ask the obvious question: what was the best whiskey you've had this evening? Now I'm going to, before you answer, I'm going to state if you say Nika 12, it only confirms the theory that we're both expensive bitches.
Which means you also think it's Nika 12.
Obviously. It's not even a contest. I'm sorry, I put it here on purpose because it was the only one I knew we both had something of. It had no choice. Oh, what a shame. I guess Meg has to pull out a near £200 bottle that he paid nothing for. Twice. David, right?
Yeah,
by the way, before he says this, no, shut up. Before I just, when I won that Nika 12, after being given a bottle for Christmas and obviously buying my own, David offered me 3 bars of chocolate because he's like, that covers your raffle ticket. He tried to buy it off me and he's like, and then when I didn't give it to him, he's like, but I paid for it, here's the chocolate. Like, mother fluffer. No, you fucking didn't. He's such a twat. He tried to buy it off me by only paying for the value of the ticket. No, carry on. By the way, I've still got those DMs. He legit tried to barter for it.
I did, yeah, this is true.
He did it over Discord. No shame. I mean, I got it, but it's even funnier because obviously he really wants a bottle of this. I have 3. It's even better. If I ever get another channel, a YouTube channel, another one to 100,000, I will buy another bottle of Nika 12 solely to have another one.
It's fine. I have licked all of them.
I know. But you didn't lick the insides. That's all that matters.
At least 2 other members of your family.
Yes, I remember you telling me and then sending me pictures. Mercifully, though, not the inside.
That's what you think.
Well, I'm getting an STD check after this. Oh, rub it in. I mean, I tried not to rub too much in, but at the same time, when he was bartering in DMs, it was the fun. I was sat there like, should I unfriend him? Would it be too impolite to unfriend him right now? I thought that was great. By the way, Nika apparently they do on here. They have a few other more cheaper. They do the coffee malt whiskies, Nika Days, which I got for my dad for his 60th birthday. He really enjoyed it, but it turns out his version of a double is a quad, so it was too much. Yes. Pure malt red as well, Super Nika, because that's what Clark Kent
Super
drinks.
Nika, that looks a bit like Swing, doesn't it?
It does look like Swing, Johnny Walker Swing. Yes. Nika from the Barrel is one David was earlier referencing. This one. It is, I argue, the best Japanese standard whiskey you can ever get your hands on. And I've got the pourer attachment, so it's better. But yes, anyway.
Yeah, you've got the fancy one with the pourer and the glasses.
Yeah, I had the gift set, and then I broke one of the glasses a couple of years ago, didn't I? Accidentally, I knocked it off underneath the shelf in the bar. So I've only got one of the Nika glasses left. They're very basic bish glasses, but they're still nice. I wanted the Nika, what's it called? Hip flask. I wanted one of those because they look cool. All right. So how are we doing for time?
I would like one of the samurai ones just to go with my. Because if I get a samurai one, I can get my terracotta warrior figurines out when I went to China, and they'll kind of make a nice little display.
I feel like there's something slightly skewed when you mention a Japanese whiskey with Chinese statues.
I know, but it's just an Asian display, not necessarily Japanese. But
are you saying they all look the same?
No, saying they're similar. Similar culture.
Oh,
and
sure.
They give me a use of my terracotta warrior figurines that I have from when I went to see the terracotta run.
Very well. Well, I'm going to send what I've got, which is actually a fairly hearty amount because I haven't had much of it. I'm going to do it anyway, though, because we're at the 2.5 hour mark, and I don't want to outstay our welcome too much. So, regrettably, YOLO Swag Fam, Slancher, which is Japanese for Slancher.
Well, he did do this and bring this upon himself by saying he wasn't do 12 seconds.
Oh, so, it's a banging shot, though. It's a banging shot. Oh, it's good.
Is it, though?
It isn't.
Is it for the money?
Well, based on what I originally paid, yes. Based on the fact I didn't pay based on the fact that this one I paid nothing for, yes. But based on the
how much does that cost in relation to a Glenfarclas Class 105?
Sorry? Well, you can get based on the cost of this originally to the Far Class. I don't pay for the 105 though, just to be clear. It's double the Far Class 105 based on the original cost anyway.
Oh, okay. I said that thinking the Far Class was like 85 quid. So I was thinking it was only like 20 quid more.
Let me have a look. Glen Far Class 105. Don't forget here, the Far Class 105 was my birthday gift a few years back. It now sits around £73. So it would be two of these back then to,
okay, fair enough. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it would have been back then. But now it's like £199 when Master Malt had it in stock. Actually, I can just show that. Nika 12. I'll put it on screen for those who are interested. Here we go. Nika 12, £199 when they have it in stock, which they won't have. That's what it cost. But this, I didn't pay for them. I only paid for one bottle. And it cost me £110. I don't feel too bad about shooting it. It's just I know it's not right to shoot it. But again, it's one of those things where we discovered the higher end whiskies. If you know they're a really good whiskey, when you can sip them, you can drink them, and you can shoot them. You shouldn't shoot them. It's 43%. You don't need to shoot that. Okay. You don't. And if anyone uses this as a mixing whiskey, you're an uncultured Philistine because it's a blend for a reason. Because they've blended it to make the correct flavors for the right type of people. And this is why this whiskey blew up. A lot of Japanese whiskies, when this happened, were blends. Most of them were, actually.
Hibiki is, Nika is. The only Yamazaki is the main one that isn't.
Isn't Hakushu?
But yeah, most of the rest are, aren't they?
Yeah, Yoichi, what was that? Hatazaki?
Mars, actually Hakushu was single malt.
Yeah, Hakushu was single malt as well. I think most of them have actually gone towards single malt now on purpose, because they now know they can do it. But back when they started,
also links to the change in the rules of
and
Japanese whiskey, doesn't it? But
yeah, Tenjaku, Senjaku, whatever it was called, Toki, they're all blends. But the premium blend territory is the Nika 12 and Hibiki 12, and they don't. We've tried them. They don't need to be a single malt for a reason, because they found the right flavors to make the best version of their whiskey, and it's important. And this is where, when we were tiering these earlier, rating them, while I think of the single malts, or the 3 single malts that were 12 definitive standards, well, not quite, the Old Pulsey and the Mortlack are very close. The Highland Park is the bottom. The Far Class can't be included because it's just too strong, it's too unique, and you can't include the Nika because it's a blend. But then if you do compare them, we both agree Nika 12 sits at the top anyway.
Yeah, because the fact it's a blend doesn't mean it's poor quality.
Yeah, it is often looked down on, though. And I think there is a point there we have in the past been a bit snobbish, and then we have to remind ourselves, but we both really like Johnny Walker. So we can't be too dismissive of that.
Probably, I think, if we were to have one whiskey, the only whiskey we would ever drink, there's a good chance both of us might say Johnny Walker Black.
As if we haven't already. It would be either be that Jameson or Talisker 10.
Yeah. But like, there's a decent chance that we would both pick a blend as our only ever whiskey we could have. Whiskey.
And I'd rather have that over the standard ones that you feature in a pub. Although Bell's standard grouse, standard Grant, standard teachers.
Yeah.
Well, the teachers only has standard, doesn't it? They're not.
I believe so. Yeah.
They're shitskis, and they're all blends for a profile that's solely designed for people who no longer have a functioning tongue owing to some kind of mouth cancer. And no, I don't wish that.
Only drink them with Coke.
Oh God, if you're drinking Bells with Coke, something's wrong with you. I would rather drink, and I don't drink fizzy anymore. I
think there's more wrong with you if you drink Bell's neat than if you put Coke in it.
You know, it's a really complicated thing we need to solve at some point. We know for certain whether or not it's absolute blasphemy or not. I can never be too certain in this day and age. Okay, what did you think was your least, definitively? What do you think the worst one is? And it's not because any of them are bad. Which one do you think is just not as good as the rest?
So,
I'm gonna write
move
them.
my bottles around. So,
I'm gonna say mine live. I do think the weakest, based on the flavour not being as nice. So this is strange because the Farclas didn't have as much flavour to it, weirdly, but it wasn't as bitter as the Park 12, right?
Yeah.
And I don't mind the bitter, but I don't think it worked. There was nothing to counter it. I think the Farclas is above it. The Mortlach is, for me, third. The Pulteney is second because it felt rounded, and again, it's that value for money. It really does play a part. It certainly influences the mind when you know you can get two of those for one. And if you have 70 quid, are you going to buy the Mortlach or are you going to buy 2 bottles of Pulteney? Majority of people are going to buy 2 because if they know it's good, they're going to go for it. You can buy the thing with the Mortlach though that really does help it is that it does look like a bottle you can show off. It looks like a medicine thing. Like that looks like a
you could
net.
show it off and people wouldn't think it was 70 quid bottle. They'd think it was more, wouldn't they? Because of what it looks like.
And I still am torn on that though, putting it in third, because certain aesthetics do play a part in the experience. Don't forget here, Nika 12 is also a very unique bottle. I mean, I'd argue the only bottle that was bland was the Highland Park one, but that wasn't bland anyway, really. It's just an old design. Really old design. But I put the
we're comparing something a lot older with the rest, aren't we, with that one?
I put the Mortlach third, but only just. Pulteney second, and definitively Nika first. For me.
So, I've got Highland Park. And I've taken a photo of this just to verify if you wasn't. I've got Highland Park last.
Yeah.
The Farclas fourth, but in front of it, so because it's slightly separate, but so it sits fourth in line basically. The Pulteney, the Mortlach, and then the Nika.
Yeah.
But I think I've done that based on how much I enjoyed the whiskies.
Yeah.
But I think if you were to do, as you say, if you factor in the price of them, then I can fully understand your putting Mortlach, the Pulteney and Mortlach the other way around.
Pultenach, yes.
Because I'm not sure the Mortlach is twice the money or worth twice the money. For me, I just preferred it over the Pulteney, but it was only just. It was close.
Well, that's where,
So I think if you had an amount of money to spend, the Pulteney is better value for money.
Yeah.
Certainly.
So there's another aspect we need to consider here quick before we finish. And I think it's important to quickly reference it. And that is, originally we were going to have, instead of the Farclas 12, the Bunnahabhain 12. Bunnahabhain 12 is 46.3%. It sells for £42 on Master of Malt. It has 12 Gold Spirit Awards. And it is, I'd argue, the single best 12-year-old single malt Scotch whisky ever. It is and the thing about Bunnahabhain, it is an Islay. It's in the image, it's the second from right. That's the cask strength version that I haven't opened from 2023. One of the best of all time, in fact. It's highly regarded. I would have put that at number 1. above Nika 12 instantly because it's so rich, it's so heavily sherried. The thing with Bunnahabhain is majority of their standard whiskies are not peated. An Islay that's not peated is the best version of it. It's my birthday whiskey. I've refilled it at least twice now. I had it as a stream whiskey as well. You can't go wrong with it. It's a really nice, and that's why I bought the Bunnahabhain 30, because I've never been wrong with the Bunnahabhain. The only one that I've ever been a bit questionable is the Moyna, which is their standard peated one. I'm not the biggest fan of it because I don't think for them peated whiskey works, but it's still good. It's still a good peated whiskey. It's just not as good as a Kalila 12, a Vulid 16, a Lefroy 10, or quarter cask. I'd say might be slightly better, but still, it's that thing of what they play to their strengths to. And in the case of Bunnahabhain, to me it would have beaten the others easily because of the strength of flavour, the intensity of it. Sadly,
so that would have been an interesting one against the Glenfarclas class with the strength, wouldn't it? As well, the cask strength one.
Yeah,
it would have given us something else that could go blow for ABV.
Oh yeah, it would have been. It would definitely have been a fair fight. I think the Bunnahabhain would have won though. Sorry about the yawn. It would have won
based on my memory of the Buna 12, the standard one. I think Highland Park would still have been last.
Yeah.
I think Old Pulteney would have been next if we hadn't had the Glenfarclas class.
Yeah.
I think it would then been the Mortlach.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure between the Bunnahabhain and the Nika.
Well, that's where it becomes a very interesting fight because Nika is all about the subtle, it's about the sweet, it's about the nice supple flavours. Bunnahabhain's like, no, I'm going to slap you now. It's the Lobo of drinks. It's going to come, and if you know DC, that may make some sense. It's just going to hit you and it wants to, and it's going to enjoy itself in the process. I think it's a shame we didn't get to, but I don't regret having Glenfarclas because we have it. Why not? But I'm interested.
Obviously added something different to the stream in the ABV sense, because obviously had we have done the Bunnahabhain, it would have been the standard.
Fully agree.
Because that's what I would have had access to.
Yeah, I agree with you on that 100%. Okay, well, we've reached the end. I have finished my beverages and I have no intention to consume any more. We are at the 2 hour 40-minute mark, and I need to shut down because my sister will be doing dogs soon, and I need to say goodnight to Wizzy Woo if I haven't already. I don't think she's here actually. Maybe she will be dining if I'm lucky. We will be back next month for another episode of this. Hopefully I'll be at David's in the most glorious of cities called Norwich. And Norwich. And unless there's something else we need to say, I mean, we're going to work out another VC in the future on Discord, a Cardrona VC, which is going to be an absolute pain because of how strong they are.
Yes, that is going to be a punch followed by a punch followed by a kick in the nads followed by
the weakest whiskey starts at, I have to reload the live stream page because apparently that boomered. It starts at 54% and ends at 64%, and there are 4 samples of this. It's going to hurt. Thank you for joining, guys. We really appreciate it. Thank you for the super chats, because honestly, that really is awesome. And I will
not so thank you for the super chats. I don't know if apparently I'm not going to like the buzzballs, so not so thank you for the super chats.
What about the direct donation that guarantees I buy you one from Snucklevs? Sorry, Snuckles, but they've Coffee reads it out.
They're on the list.
You have your own list now, do you? Oh, about time. I've had a list since university. Remember the list. Okay, well.
Thank you for being here, everyone.
Snucklers, Brian, Laura, you're on the list.
Already, please do share us around. Get other people to watch us on playback.
We'd appreciate it.
Thank you for joining. Thank you for the input from those of you who have chatted. And we will see you soon.
Yes, thank you for being here, guys. Good night, everyone. Say good night, David.
Good night, David.